A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Dragnet. Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to auto theft detail. The recovery rate of stolen automobiles in your city has dropped far below normal. Evidence points to an organized gang of car thieves. Your job? Break it up.
It was Tuesday, June 14th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of auto theft detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Nelson. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 11:27 a.m. when we got to 2564 Dewey Avenue. Apartment 3G.
Want to try it again?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, hi, Joe, Frank.
Hi, Whitey. Hi.
Come on in.
Thanks.
Come on out in the kitchen. I'm washing out some socks. You don't care if I finish up, do you?
No, go ahead.
I got up this morning. I figured I'd better get it done. Haven't got a clean pair to my name.
Mm-hmm.
Drag a chair and sit down.
Thank you.
What'd you want to see me about?
A couple questions.
I'm not in the fire, am I?
Not with us.
Couldn't remember anything. You never know.
No.
What is it?
You still working at that garage?
Night shift. Check in at 4. This got something to do with my job?
Might have, yeah.
Look, fellas, you know the history. I'm not going to try and hand you a lot of slush, but I'm clean. Half a dozen guys will tell you that. I haven't got off the line since the last time I was tagged.
Well, you're in no trouble, Whitey. We figured maybe you could give us a hand.
Here's the switch. Me giving you some help. Usually works the other way. What are you looking for?
A lot of cars going someplace, Whitey. We're trying to find out where and who's driving them.
Thought maybe you might have heard a rumble. There's always something going around.
You got anything?
Won't do me any good if it goes outside.
We won't open the door.
There's supposed to be 3 of them.
What do you know about them?
2 men and a woman. 2 fellas are supposed to be pretty heavy.
Any names?
No, they're planted pretty close. Even the rumble's not solid.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of days ago, I talked to a guy down at the garage. He was telling me about the operation, said it was big.
You know the people?
Enough to be in the same bar. Told me he tried to get a piece of the action, but they're not cutting any of it.
Can we talk to this guy?
I can't stop you, but I can't give you a hand either.
What do you mean?
I can't tell you where to find him.
Does he come around the garage much?
No, he comes in once in a while, talks, nothing regular.
What's he do for a living?
Drives.
Hmm?
Stock car races.
Oh, has he got a name?
Call him Tops. I don't know the right.
You know what he's talking about?
I think so. He likes to yak, but he sounded straight on this.
To give you any details on the operation?
I didn't ask a lot. I figure the less I know about deals like this, the less I can get in trouble.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Huh?
The way that sock is worn. Argyle, good ones. Cost me $5. Look at that hole in the heel, right in the middle of the 2 covers. How do you mend a sock like that?
What do you mean?
Well, how do you sew it up? Use one color and it louses up the Argyle part. Use the color of the Argyle and it'll go into the foot part. Sock people ought to figure some way around it.
Yeah.
Might as well throw them away.
Any word on what they're doing with the cars?
I didn't hear it. They turn it up?
No, not where we can find them.
Smart.
Are they local people, Whitey?
I don't know. I don't think so. I can't tell you why. I just don't think they're from L.A.
Mm-hmm.
They scoring pretty good?
Yeah, they are. Last 2 weeks, we figured they've taken half a dozen cars.
Well, how do you lay it on them?
Well, the way they're working, the MO points to the same gang.
What's the pattern?
Cars are taken in the early morning hours from in front of the owner's house.
Jumper wire?
Yeah, all 8 models. They won't touch anything that isn't fully equipped.
Any special make?
No. As long as the car's a radio and a heater, white sidewalls, they want it.
They're not turning up, huh?
No.
Maybe they're getting them out of the country.
No, that doesn't figure. We've had the border checked. San Diego's working on it. 2 of the jobs, we had the broadcast out within a half hour after the car was taken. We couldn't turn anything. Just seemed to disappear.
You must have a big parking lot.
Yeah. You said the 2 men were heavy.
That's right.
Well, how'd you come up with that?
Well, the guy who told me the story, you know, Tops?
Yeah.
When he laid the rumble out, he said he talked with one of the fellas at a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Told the guy he'd like a piece of the action. About that time, the roof fell in.
What do you mean?
Well, the guy got real rough. Said there wasn't going to be any split. The action was going to stay in the same corner.
Mm-hmm.
Showed Tops a gun. Said if anything about the operation got out, he'd use it. The way Tops put it, he wasn't kidding.
Did you get any kind of a description of the man?
No.
This Tops fella tell you where the bar was?
Huh.
Well, okay, Whitey. If you hear from him again, will you let us know?
Sure. Call you at the office?
That's right.
Wish I could have given you more. I'll nose around, see if I can pick up anything.
We appreciate that. Don't go out on a limb, though.
You don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to line myself up for any trouble I don't need.
Yeah. Well, we'll check you later then, huh?
Yeah. Hope I'll have something for you in the next couple of days.
Well, if you do, it'll put you way ahead.
Hmm?
We've been on it 2 weeks.
Yeah?
We haven't got a place to start. On Saturday, May 27th, the first theft had been reported. The victim said he'd parked his car in front of his house and returned an hour later to find it gone. An immediate local and APB had been gotten out, but the vehicle wasn't found. 3 days later, on May 30th, there was another theft. Same M.O. In spite of all our precautions, the thefts continued. To date, 7 automobiles had been taken, and none of them had been recovered. All possible sources of information had been checked out without result. Outlets for stolen cars had been kept under 24-hour surveillance without netting any new information. The stats office had made runs on each theft and on the general M.O. When the list they returned to us was checked, we were no closer to the thieves. Pressure from the victims and their insurance companies began to build, but there apparently wasn't anything we could do to stop the operation. Frank and I went back to the office and ran the name and description of the man known as Tops through the moniker file. There was no record of such a person. 2 more days passed. Another car was stolen. People in the immediate vicinity were questioned, but none of them had seen the thief. Saturday, June 18th, 11:40 a.m.
Okay. Auto theft, Smith.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Can you hold him? Right. Be right there. Yeah. It's Coach. That was Whitey calling us from the garage.
What's he got?
That fella Tops.
Yeah.
He just walked in.
Frank and I left the city hall and drove over to the garage where our informant worked. He pointed out an elderly man in the rear of the place. We identified ourselves and asked him to step into the office.
What do you want to see me about?
Just a couple of questions.
Well, I ain't done nothing. No reason for you to roust me around.
You're not being rousted.
Well, sure looks like it from here.
You want to sit down?
I'd rather stand up. It's all the same to you.
All right, suit yourself. You want a cigarette?
Yeah.
Frank?
Yeah, thanks. I got a light.
Frank. What's your real name, Tops?
Henry Grayson.
What do you do for a living?
I can get a car, I race.
Stock car?
Yeah.
Where?
Around different tracks.
You live here in L.A.?
Most of the time, come back when I'm not working.
You got a job now?
I'll figure to go back east next week. Think I can line something up. Hey, look, you maybe got a lot of time to kill. I haven't. Why don't you tell me what this is all about so I can get out of here?
You ever been arrested?
Huh?
You ever been in jail?
Yeah.
What charge?
Well, they didn't make it stick.
Well, what were you arrested for?
Grand theft.
Auto or money?
Auto.
Do any time?
I told you, they didn't make it stick.
Where'd this happen?
Idaho.
That's your only arrest, huh?
A couple of times for a bag.
They hold you?
No, give me a floater.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you guys are after something. What is it?
You know anything about a gang of car thieves that have been working here in town?
What?
Stolen cars?
Oh, why should I have anything on it?
We heard you did.
From where?
We heard it.
Is it true? Lousy Whitey. He told you, didn't he?
It's not important where we got the information. We're trying to find out if it's true.
Then you'll have to look someplace else. I got nothing for you.
Where'd you get the nickname Tops?
Huh?
It's a funny name. How'd you get it?
Well, when I was a kid, I had real blonde hair, almost white. Other kids call me Cotton Top, shortened it down.
Mm-hmm. You like driving for a living?
It's all right. Better than working.
You do pretty good at it?
Hmm?
Is there any money in driving?
Well, it depends. Sometimes a good month and a couple of bad ones. Depends.
How do you do?
I'm not starving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you want to know about the stolen cars?
What can you tell us?
Not much.
We'll take what you got.
I got to talking with a guy one night. Subject come up. We kicked it around. Turned out he had a deal going for him.
Friend of yours?
Never saw him before.
All right, go ahead.
Well, that's it. He had this deal working. I don't know anymore.
Why don't you do yourself a favor?
What?
If you're not mixed up in this thing, why are you holding out?
I'm not. I'm giving you what I know. Maybe it isn't the guy's life story, but it's all I got.
All right, from the beginning. Tell us, will you?
What?
Everything this fella said.
You got nothing to hold me on. As far as I'm concerned, it's okay if you do pull me in. A couple of days on the city. Give me rent and food bills.
All right, let's go.
Look, if I had any information, I'd give it to you. No reason for me to hold out.
That's right.
I never saw the guy before. I haven't laid eyes on him since.
Then what do you stand in front of him for?
What?
Makes you look like the patsy for the piece. Anybody takes a beef, it's going to be you.
For what? Sitting in a bar and listening to some drunk?
It's more than that, and you know it.
I can't tell you.
Why? These guys too heavy for you, are they? Is that why you won't go along with us? You scared?
If you got to tie it down, that's the reason.
They won't get near you.
You can guarantee it?
We can.
Okay, I'll go. What do you want to know?
The whole story now.
Well, there's much to tell. Was in this bar one night. Two fellas come in. They were both kind of gassed. Sat down next to me and started to talk.
To you?
No, but they were right next to me. I could hear what they were saying.
All right, go on.
Well, they were talking about this deal, how it was all set up. First off, I didn't know what it was all about. Then I heard one of them mention something about cars.
Yeah.
Well, it's like saying something about a new kind of camera around a photographer. As soon as I heard the word cars, I started to listen. Good. They were having a beef about something. One of them wanted to start unloading right away. The other guy said they should wait for a while, dump them all at once.
Yeah.
Well, they stood there and talked like that for a while, then one of them noticed me listening.
Go ahead.
He leaned over and said something to the other guy, and the next thing I knew, I was surrounded. One of them on each side leaning on me. Didn't want any trouble. I could see those two guys had a pocket full of it, so I went along with them.
Well, what happened?
Well, they asked me if I liked what I heard.
Yeah.
I told them I didn't hear anything. Said I had very bad ears. They didn't believe it, said they wanted to talk me outside the bar.
Yeah.
Well, I figured if they got me out there, I'd end up with something broken, so I didn't go. Tried to push me around, but the bartender come over, and they moved away.
What happened then?
Came back, told me if I said anything to anybody but what they were saying, they'd get me. One of them had a gun. He kind of pulled his coat back. I could see it in his belt. They weren't kidding. Word that I'd talk to you gets back to him, I'm as good as dead.
Well, don't worry about it.
Did you try and cut yourself in on the deal?
No.
We heard you did.
Well, it's not true. I told Whitey that, but it never happened.
Well, why'd you tell him it did?
Well, I don't know. Trying to be a big man, I guess.
Yeah.
These two fellows hang around the bar?
Huh?
Have you seen the two men around the bar before?
No, it's the first time.
Any of the other people in the place seem to know him?
Mm-mm.
They leave the place before you did?
Yeah, finished up their drinks and walked out.
They have a car?
If they did, I didn't see it. I stayed where I was. Figured maybe they were waiting for me. Didn't leave the place until just before 2.
You think you'd know him again if you saw him?
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Well, we'd like you to come downtown and look through some pictures.
Well, I don't like to be a finger.
Well, you haven't got much choice, fella.
I suppose not. All right, let's go. Now, don't forget, you guys said you'd take care of me.
We will.
Those fellas find out I'm on your side, they'll try to kill me. Nothing's going to stop them.
Yeah, we think there is.
What?
Us. We took Henry Grayson back to the city hall and had him check the mug books. He was unable to identify the suspects. We ran his name through the record section and found that he had no arrests in the state of California. At his own request, he was returned to his home. Local broadcasts and APBs were put out carrying the description of the 2 male suspects. A week passed without result. Monday, June 27th. I got it. Auto theft Friday. Yes, sir. That's right. When was that? No, we can't take one over the phone. Oh, well, I'm sorry, too. That's right. You live in Hollywood? I see. Well, now, if you'll go down to the police station on Wilcox Avenue. That's right. In Hollywood. They'll take it for you. 1358 between Sunset and Santa Monica. That's right. You betcha. Bye.
Car theft?
Bicycle. Fella says his kid left it in front of the house, came back and it was gone.
That's something we can do for you?
I'd like to talk to somebody about a stolen car.
Well, sit down. We'll take the information.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, sir. What can we do for you?
You're a policeman?
That's right. It's Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How do you do? I'm Joe Pennant.
Hi.
All right, sir. What do you want to see us about?
I think I bought a stolen car.
Why do you think it's stolen?
Well, just the way it was handled, the whole thing's got something funny about it.
Where's the car now?
I got it parked outside the other street over there.
You have the license number?
Yeah, I have. You want it?
Yes, sir. We can check it for you.
I got it written down here. All the information someplace. Pink slip, too. Oh, yeah, here it is.
Very fine. Thank you.
I'll check it, Joe.
Okay, thanks.
I sure hate to put you in all this trouble.
That's all right.
Feels silly if it turns out okay.
Well, why do you think the car's stolen?
Well, I own this little place up near Lancaster. It's kind of a bar and a couple of cabins for tourists. We're out of town a ways. We don't do a lot of business, enough to make a pretty good living, but it's all hard work.
Yeah.
Day before yesterday, that was Saturday,
Uh-huh.
this guy come into the place, had something to eat. We got to talk. You know, nothing important.
Yeah.
He told me he's on his way back east to find a job. Talked about how he's having a lot of trouble, lost his job and all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had this new car parked right outside, said he just bought it. Asked me if I knew anybody who'd buy it.
You mean he wanted to sell the car?
Yeah, I said he just got it and he needed the money to get wherever he was going. Told me he paid cash for it and he wanted to get some money out of it.
Yeah.
Said he didn't want to take a loss, but he didn't have the price of gas for it.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to sell it.
All right, go ahead.
I asked him how much he wanted, quoted a figure a couple $100 under wholesale. It seemed like a good deal, so I bought it.
Yeah.
Then other guys come in and want to sell things. I learned the hard way, so I asked him if he could prove he really owned the car, that he didn't steal it.
Yeah.
I didn't say it like that, you understand. If the deal was honest, I didn't want to scare him off.
Yeah.
And he showed me the pink slip and told me where he bought the car. It's a place called Brompton Auto Service in Hollywood.
Did you contact them?
Yeah, I put a call right through.
What'd they say?
Well, I went through a big trash about it. I talked to a couple of secretaries before I got to the sales manager. He checked the records. He said the car had been purchased from them. He gave me the man's name and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing about the deal then to make me think there was anything wrong. Pink slip, the car people.
Yeah.
I bought it. Gave the man a check. We drove into town, and I dropped him off at the bus terminal. He said he'd cash the check on Monday. That's today.
Yeah.
Happened I had to come into town this morning, checked at the bank, and they told me that the check had cleared. That it was cashed first thing they opened the doors. I got worried about it and decided I'd better talk to you.
Yeah. How about it?
Well, stolen, all right.
I had a feeling.
Anything on it?
No, I checked the report.
Yeah.
It's the bunch we're after.
While the victim, Joel Pennant, looked through the mug books, Frank and I went over to the bank and picked up the check the suspect had cashed. The name on the pink slip had been run through R&I, but there was no record on it. The check was handed over to Larry Sloan in handwriting. The pink slip was sent to the crime lab, where it was found to be a forgery. We checked the phone book for a listing on the Brompton Auto Service, but we found none. The victim had made a note of the phone number, and from it we were able to obtain the address where the telephone was installed. It was a large office building on 7th Street. Frank and I went over to see the superintendent.
Yeah, this is where they were at 9:26.
When did they move out?
Oh, sometime over the weekend. I'm not sure of the day. I'm off on Saturday and Sunday.
I see.
We'll hardly ever come down to the building on my day off.
Yes, sir.
How long were they in the office?
Oh, a couple of weeks. Said they wanted a place for a month. They paid for it in advance. They told me if things worked out, they'd take a lease.
Yes.
Guess things didn't work out.
Did they leave any forwarding address?
No, they didn't.
What can you tell us about them?
Not much. I only talked to them a couple of times. Seemed nice enough.
Did they tell you what kind of business they were in?
No, said they were trying to get a new product started. Told me most of their work would be over the phone.
Did they pay for the office by check or cash, do you know?
Cash. Said they didn't have their checks printed up yet.
They use a name of any kind?
I don't think I understand you.
Did they call each other by name?
Yeah, they did when they were looking over the office.
Do you remember them?
Let me think a minute. Well, it comes to me, one of them was called Tom. The other one was named Ralph.
No last name?
No, I didn't hear them.
What about the woman?
I called her Lerner. Remember that when they introduced her? Nicky Lerner.
Uh-huh. Has the office been cleaned since they left?
No, it hasn't.
All right, sir. We'd like to have some men from our office go over the place.
Sure. Glad to help any way I can.
Fine, thank you. Can you come downtown and look at some pictures for us?
The criminals?
Well, of some possible suspects.
See if I can pick them out, huh?
That's right.
You better will. Wait here, I'll get my coat. Go right with you.
All right, fine.
Well, second thought, you better wait in the lobby. We can go right out the door. It'll be faster.
That'll be fine.
Well, let's go. Yeah, I can't hardly wait to get home and tell my wife what's happened.
Uh-huh.
She's all the time after me because I never have nothing interesting to tell her at night.
Yes, sir.
It'll be different this time. Give her a story that'll really make her mouth hang open. Sure gonna be a doozer.
Yeah.
You guys could do me a favor, though.
What's that?
Could you drive me home after I look at the pictures?
We'll see that you get there, yes, sir.
I'd like it to be in a black and white car, if you can swing it.
All right.
Make the story more exciting. You know, hard-hitting.
Yeah.
Something else if I come home in a black and white police car.
What's that?
My wife will believe me.
We took the superintendent down to the city hall, but he failed to identify the suspects. The crime lab crew went over the office they had used, but they were unable to find any useful information. Another week passed. During that time, we had reports that 4 of the stolen cars had been sold. The circumstances in each case were the same. In each instance, we checked out the address the suspects had used as a front without result. Tuesday, July 5th, Frank and I walked into the squad room.
Well, it's not the same, Joe. Not the same at all. It's all changed.
It has.
Sure. Don't make any difference how you try. It just doesn't come off.
What are you talking about?
The 4th, Joe. The 4th.
The 4th, huh?
Yeah. Remember how when we were kids they had firecrackers and them torpedo things you threw against buildings, stuff like that?
Yeah.
No more. All they got now is sparklers and them fountain things.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, they're nice. They look pretty, but it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
I remember getting up on the morning of the 4th. You see who the first kid in the block was to get a can in the air. Real contest, like.
What?
Get a can in the air. You know, put a firecracker under a can, light it off. Real contest in our block, so you could be the first one in the morning of the 4th. Didn't you ever do that?
Yeah.
Well, we sure did. Never forget it. No, it's not the same now.
Yeah, but it's a lot safer now, isn't it? I got it. Auto theft Friday. Yeah. That sure might be. It's worth checking anyway. Right. We'll be right over. It's Mott over in forgery.
Yeah?
Just picked up a printer, been cashing checks.
Uh-huh.
Checked his plant, found something we might be able to use.
What?
65 pink slips. We went over to room 29 and met with Sergeant Hal Mott. He told us that he and his partner had picked up a suspect on suspicion of forgery. When they searched the man's home, they found a printing plant where the suspect had been making up phony checks. They'd also found master plates for automobile pink slips and a quantity of the slips themselves. Under questioning, the suspect admitted the forgeries but denied any knowledge of the automobile registrations. Frank and I took him to the interrogation room.
Your true name is Harry Larwill, is that right?
Yeah.
You want to tell us about those pink slips?
I don't know anything about them.
You printed them, didn't you?
I guess so.
Well, and don't you know?
I printed them.
What were you going to do with them?
I did it for kicks, nothing more.
For practice.
Yeah.
Do you think a story like that's going to stand up in court?
Look, I copped out to the forgery rap. Isn't that enough for you guys?
We want to know about those pinks.
I already told you.
How many counts did they get on you?
I don't know, 10 or 12.
Well, and you know you're not going to do that stand on your head.
Hmm?
You'll stand 1 to 14 on each count.
A lot of time if they run consecutively.
Now, come on, why'd you print the slips?
What happens to me if I tell you?
What do you mean by that?
Will make it any easier on me?
We don't decide that.
Well, you see, the judge knows, huh?
We'll put it down like that, yeah. Now, tell us about it, will you?
I made them up for Tom and Ralph.
Who are they?
A couple of guys I know. They come to me with this deal, said if I'd make them 100 slips, they'd give me $1,000. I needed the money, so I did the job.
Yeah.
Well, after I made them, Ralph said they could only use 45 of them. Then we had a beef. He gave me 500, and I gave him the pinks.
You know where you can pick up your friends?
Yeah. Apartment out in Hollywood.
The girl there, too?
Who do you mean?
Understand her name's Nikki.
Oh, yeah. Ralph's wife. Yeah, I guess she should be around.
When'd you see him last?
Yesterday, Ralph called me in the morning, told me they was interested in the rest of the slips. Wanted to know if we could make a deal.
What'd you tell him?
Yeah, we could. I'm supposed to meet him this afternoon.
Where?
Drugstore on Sunset. He told me 3 of them were going to leave town.
All right.
You going to pick them up?
That's right.
Guess they had a good thing going for them. Sure, we're raking in the dough.
Yeah.
Ralph told me about it, said they were coining money. Kind of hate to see it broken up.
You do?
Yeah. Good deal like that. Good ones are hard to come by these days. Takes a lot of time to set one up.
Mm-hmm.
Break this one up, they'll have to sit down and figure another way to make a buck. Kind of hurts to think about it.
It does.
Yeah, good deal like that shot. It really hurts me.
Think what it's going to do to them.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On November 10th, trial was held in Department 89, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Ralph Norwood Prescott, Thomas Dean Bolton, and Nicky Lerner Prescott were tried and convicted of grand theft auto, 5 counts, and received punishment as prescribed by law. Grand theft auto is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 1 to 10 years in the state penitentiary.
Ladies and gentlemen, careless driving is kid stuff. Most automobile accidents happen when we forget to act our age and drive carefully. Letting off steam, defying authority, showing off, risks a driver's life as well as the lives of other people. In your car, act your age. The life you save may be your own.
Dragnet is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to juvenile detail. You get a call from Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. A 2-year-old child has been brought in. Her condition is critical. There's evidence of foul play. Your job? Check it out.
It was Sunday, August 14th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of juvenile detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Powers. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from detention cells, and it was 7:28 p.m. when I got to the second floor of Georgia Street Juvenile. Squad room.
Hi, how'd it go?
Nothing. Those kids won't cop to a thing.
What about the weapons?
They only admit they had them, and that's all.
Nothing about what they were going to do with them.
No.
I don't know, Joe. Today, kids got a lot more than we ever had. TV, cars, a lot of things.
Yeah.
Still seems like they aren't happy unless they're figuring how to beat somebody's brains out.
Well, it doesn't go for all of them.
Well, enough to give us a headache.
Yeah.
And take those kids upstairs. If they spent the same time doing something constructive that they do making the zip guns and saps, they'd have something worthwhile, something worth remembering.
Well, maybe it'll work out the same way.
What do you mean?
They won't forget this. Juvenile Friday. Yeah, Doc. When'd she come in? Anybody with her? Give me that again, will you? Yeah, I got it. Okay. We'll check it. That's right. We'll get back to you later. Thanks, Doc. Bye. It was Dr. Sebastian.
Yeah.
Just brought a little girl into emergency. Had convulsions.
How's she doing?
Dead on arrival. Frank and I notified Homicide Division, then we left the office and drove out to the address I'd gotten on the phone. 1784 Malabar Street was a small wooden house set on the back of the lot. A dead oak tree in the front yard was overgrown with ivy. Several broken and rusted children's toys were half hidden in the weeds near the front porch. We rang the front doorbell.
Somebody ought to be home. The lights are on.
Let's try it again. Yeah, somebody's coming.
Yes?
Ms. Manson?
That's right. What do you want?
Police officers would like to talk to you.
We have to go through it all again. Don't you think I feel bad enough?
We're sorry to bother you, ma'am, but there's some questions we have to ask you.
All right, come on in. You might as well sit down.
Thank you. Thank you. This is Frank Smith, and my name's Friday.
How do you do, Miss Manson?
Hello.
You're the child's aunt, is that right?
Yeah, her mother's my sister.
And where's your mother?
I don't know. I've been trying to get in touch with her. Left messages all over town, but I guess she ain't got any of them.
The child stay with you, does she?
Yeah. Been here since she was 6 months old. Feel like she was my own.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 3 kids myself, all boys. Always wanted a girl. When Joan said I could have Melissa, it made me feel real good. Like a daughter of my own, real good.
Mm-hmm.
Knew it didn't make any difference to Joan. None at all. Wasn't anything that mattered much to her. I always thought Melissa was something that shouldn't have happened. In the way, that's what she said.
Yes, ma'am.
In the way.
Mm-hmm. What happened this evening?
What do you mean?
Well, you're the one who called the hospital, aren't you?
Yeah. As soon as I knew there was something wrong, called him.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
Well, this is Sunday.
Yes.
Every Sunday morning, Joan comes by and picks up Melissa, takes her for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Just like always, she was here this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Going to be a big day. She told the baby they were going up to Griffith Park to the zoo, see the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we all sat around and ate. My kids, and baby and Joan, and the kids went to get dressed.
Yeah.
After she was dressed, they left. Joan and Melissa going to the zoo on the ride. Real big day, real big.
Mm-hmm.
About 6 they came back.
That's this evening?
Yeah, 6 o'clock. The baby didn't look real good, kind of hot and flushed.
Yeah.
I asked Joan if she'd given her a lot of junk. She said no, nothing that had hurt her. That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Just came in the house and then she left. Said she had an appointment, that she couldn't be late. Just dumped the baby inside the house and walked out.
I see.
I gave her a bath. Thought it might make her feel better. She was running a little fever. Warm bath's supposed to bring down her temperature.
Okay.
Didn't do any good at all. I asked her if she was hungry, and she said she was, so I gave her some dinner. Had no more than taken one bite, and she had the first sip.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting right there at the table, and she had it. I didn't know what to do. Never had nothing happen like that before. I didn't know what to give her.
Did you call the doctor?
Yeah. We don't have a telephone, so I went down to the corner. There's a booth at the gas station.
Yeah.
Didn't want to leave the baby alone, but there wasn't any other way. Nothing else I could do.
All right.
Doctor wasn't at home. I left work for him to come right over, and then I came back. Then no sooner walked into the house than she had another fit. Scared me to death. Poor little thing. I could see she was in pain, terrible pain. There wasn't anything I could do for her. I just couldn't wait anymore. I went back and called the emergency hospital, asked them to send an ambulance. Told them it was important and to send somebody right away. A couple of minutes after that, the men got here and took her away. Poor little thing.
Yes, ma'am.
She looked at me like asking me to stop the pain, begging me, almost tore my heart right out of my chest to see her so little. Almost killed me.
Yes.
She was dead when they got her there. Didn't even live long enough for them to try and save her. Not even that long.
Yes, ma'am, we know.
Just a baby. 2 years old and she's dead. Just a tiny little baby. It hardly seems fair. A lot of people could die and it wouldn't make any difference, but not her. She was beautiful. Just beautiful, like my daughter, like my own.
You sure there isn't something we can get for you, Miss Moore?
No, nothing. Isn't anything that'll help now. Nothing at all.
Ma'am, has there been any history of this type of attack in your family?
You mean fit?
Epilepsy? Anything of that nature?
No, never been anything like that.
Well, now, did the child tell you that she felt sick?
Mm-mm. We didn't have no idea there was something wrong until it was too late.
Did she complain of stomach cramps, do you remember?
No, she didn't.
What'd you have for dinner?
Ground meat, potatoes, green beans. Couldn't have been that made her sick. We all ate the same thing. The kids and me, none of us had any trouble.
Is your sister separated from her husband?
Yeah, they hadn't been together for over a year. Been that long anyway, I suppose. He's supposed to contribute support, but he doesn't. Not a dime.
I see. Did she provide support for the little girl?
She was the baby's mother, but that's as far as it went. Came to town from Melissa and it landed in my lap. Remember when she had roseola? Joe didn't even come over and see her. Just didn't care. Mailed a little doll for the baby. Guess that was supposed to make up for her mother not being there.
Can you tell us where we can contact your sister?
Sure. Place over on Hewitt Street. Got an apartment there.
You have the address?
Yeah. Won't do much good to go over there, though.
Why's that?
She probably ain't home. Chances are she's out someplace running around having a good time.
I see.
Don't even know that baby's dead. Hasn't got the slightest idea.
Oh, we'll go and see her.
Hope you won't mind waiting for her to show up. You're going to have to. Probably wait a long time.
Yes, ma'am.
She don't care about the baby. Never did. Told me a couple of times. Just a rock around her neck. Talked about how hard it was for her to get a husband with a kid. All the time, how the baby was making it hard for her.
Mm-hmm.
All she ever thought about herself. Didn't want anything to interfere with that. Just herself. She won't care about the baby. She won't care at all. Probably won't even talk to you.
I think she will.
Why should she? No reason for her to even see you.
Yes, there is.
What?
We're trying to find out why the child died.
Oh, she just got sick, that's all. There isn't anything more to it. Melissa just got sick.
You seem pretty sure about it.
Of course I am. Couldn't be anything else. You think there was anything else? You think there was something wrong?
We don't know yet.
Well, then talk to Joe and ask her. Anything wrong with Melissa that happened today, she ought to be able to tell you. Talk to her.
Yes, ma'am, that's what we'll do.
Hope it does you some good. Wouldn't surprise me a bit if she knows what had happened.
What's that?
She's probably got an idea. I wouldn't want her to know I told you this.
What do you mean?
If there's something wrong with the way Melissa died, if there is,
Yes, ma'am.
it wouldn't surprise me if Joan killed her.
Frank and I left the house and drove over to the apartment on Hewitt Street. The name on the mailbox read Joan Guyman. We rang the bell, but there was no answer. We talked to the landlady, Mrs. Enid Findon. She told us that the Guyman woman had left the place about 7:15 in the company of a man, and she hadn't returned. We asked her what she could tell us about Miss Guyman.
It's kind of hard to say right off. She's funny, you know how I mean?
No, ma'am.
Well, there's a lot of people who don't like her, lots of them. They think she's kind of wild the way she runs around, partying up. You'll hear a lot of talk about her. Got to kind of make up your own mind about it.
Mm-hmm. You got any idea where we can find her?
No, could be in half a dozen places. She starts on a run, she's liable not to slow down for a couple of days.
You know the man she's with?
Sorry, I can't help you there. I've seen him before, but not many times. I don't think Joan goes out with him much.
Mm-hmm.
Something wrong?
No.
Something happened to Joan?
No, ma'am.
Must be some reason you're nosing around. Anything you want to tell me?
It might be a little better if we talk to Miss Guyman.
That's the way you want it. I ain't going to pry into something don't concern me.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever met Mrs. Guyman's little girl?
You mean Melissa?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Two of them been here several times. Sundays, you know, Joan has a little girl.
How they seem to get along.
What?
Miss Guyman and her daughter. How do they get along?
Well, you said it yourself. Melissa's her daughter.
Yeah.
What have you heard? Somebody's been talking about how Joan treats the kid.
Well, maybe you better tell her.
I don't want to get her in no trouble. You understand that?
Yeah.
Well, I'd be down here watching the television, maybe doing some ironing, and I'd hear Joan yell at the baby. Loud. She used words a kid shouldn't hear, not that young.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, not that those kind of words are ever good for a youngster, but sure not for one only 2 years old.
Yeah.
Anyway, she'd yell for a while, then it'd be quiet. Guess she hit the kid a couple times. Things calmed down.
Now, do you know if Mrs. Guyman ever hit her daughter?
Well, sure. I saw it with my own eyes. We had words about it. Well, Joan told me to mind my own business. Said to keep my nose where it belonged. Told me how Melissa was her kid, and if she thought a slap would do some good, she was going to give it.
Mm-hmm.
She did. Only a couple times they weren't slaps.
Mm-hmm.
Like this. With a closed fist. Hit her right along here. Right above the ear. A couple times in the face. Saw the kid with a black eye myself, sure.
Does Mr. Guyman see his wife?
Not that I know. He said a couple times that he doesn't. I don't think she even knows where he is. Kind of sad, you know.
Yeah?
What happened? That's how all the trouble started. Mr. Guyman. Both of them used to live here when they got married. First off, they seemed pretty happy. Didn't have no idea there was anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the baby was born, the trouble started. Wasn't long before the whole building knew about it. Of course, there was a couple of people who had an idea before.
What's that?
About her.
Yeah?
Oh, running around down to the bars, drinking, talking with other men. Now, I'm not a prude. Never been anybody who could say that about me. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't believe in married women doing it. Not them.
That's what caused the trouble, then, huh?
You just put it down to that. Oh, my, they had some big arguments. Big ones. Hear them all over the building. All over the block, I guess, if he was listening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't long after that he walked out on her. Left her flat for the baby.
I see.
Packed right up and moved out. Even took his photograph records, everything. Don't think she's seen him since.
Well, are they divorced, do you know?
I don't know about that. A couple times she's talked about getting one. I don't think she's ever gone through with it.
I see.
No, she's planning on it.
Okay.
She wants to get married again. Told me that 100 times, how she wants to find a man and settle down. Just about all she talks about. Guess the big problem is Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know she's had the chance. I know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of the men have even talked to me about it. About how they want to marry Joan. Build a home for her. All comes back to the same thing.
What's that?
The kid. None of the men want a ready-made family. They're all willing to have one of their own, but it ain't easy for a woman with a 2-year-old child. Not easy at all.
Mm-hmm.
I know she thought a couple times about leaving the kid with her sister. Some kind of problem there, too. Seems they were always fighting about it.
Do you know what the arguments were about?
Sure. Joan's sister didn't think she was doing enough to support the kid, you know. Figured she ought to have more money.
Any of these quarrels ever get violent?
Yeah, I heard them upstairs, yelling and screaming at each other. Almost as bad as Joan and her husband. Sister saying that either she had to hand over more money or else take Melissa out of the house. Joan saying that she didn't care what happened to the kid, yelling all over the place. Terrible way they carried on.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest about it, I don't think either one of them really wanted the little girl. Neither one of them.
Is that right?
Both been just as happy if she'd never been born. Poor little kid. Wonder they didn't try to put her in another home, you know. Find some people who wanted her. Would have given her a chance to grow up being loved.
That's right.
At least they could have done, given the little kid a chance. Oh, I don't know. Maybe someday Joan will wake up, realize what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she will.
Let's hope it's not too late. In the company of the manager, Frank and I checked Joan Guyman's room. There was no indication that she wasn't going to return. We asked Miss Findon to notify us as soon as she heard from the Guyman woman. We returned to the office and checked with the crime lab. They'd finished going over the child's clothing, and they hadn't found anything out of order. We put in a call to the coroner's office, and we talked to Chief Deputy Coroner Vic Wallage. He told us that the autopsy would be held at 10 a.m. the following morning, and that we should have the results by 11. He went on to say that in his examination of Melissa Guyman, he'd found several bruises on her neck and back. However, he was unable to tell us if the blows might have been strong enough to cause her death. 12:16 a.m., we ran the names Joan Guyman and her sister through R&I. There was no record on the sister, but we found that the Guyman woman had been arrested several times in the last year on charges of 4127A, drunk. The rest of the night was spent in checking out the places she was known to have frequented. An attempt was made to find her husband without result. The next day, Frank and I met in the squad room early to put through a call to the coroner's office. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about the bruises? I see. How long is that going to take? Right. We'll keep in touch with you. Okay. Bye.
How about it?
They finished.
What's the cause of death?
They're still not sure.
What do you mean?
They think she might have been poisoned. autopsy had failed to show the cause of death of Melissa Guyman. Further tests were to be conducted. In the meantime, the search for her mother continued. A check with the landlady showed the victim's mother hadn't returned to her home during the night. We contacted her sister, but she told us she hadn't heard from Joan Guyman. The afternoon papers carried a story on the little girl's death. Frank and I checked with Sergeant J. Allen again, but he hadn't come up with anything new. 3:20 p.m.
You want to go out and see the sister?
I don't think it's going to do much good. She said she'd call if she heard anything.
Yeah. I got it. You have an old spare? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have. Well, where are you? All right, stay right there. That's right. Huh? As soon as we can. Joan Guyman.
Where is she?
Bar down on East 5th.
She know about the little girl?
Yeah, wants to see us right away.
Well, it makes us even.
She's got more of a reason. Says she killed her daughter.
Frank and I left the city hall and drove over to the bar. When we walked into the place, it appeared to be deserted. The bartender told us there was a woman answering the description we gave him in one of the rear booths. Joan Guyman was in her late 20s, but she looked at least 40. She'd been drinking heavily, and she'd been crying.
Yeah? Somebody you're looking for?
You're Miss Guyman?
That's right. Who are you?
Police officers. Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Yeah. I knew you'd be here. No good. Why don't you sit right down and make yourself comfortable? Which one of you fellas I talked to?
You talked to me.
Yeah. Well, then you know why I asked you to come down here.
Yes, ma'am. You want to tell us about it?
No.
How's that?
You asked me if I wanted to talk about it. Well, I don't. I don't even want to think about it. I wish it never happened.
Is that right?
You probably think it's funny I'm not crying, don't you? Don't you? You think there's something wrong with me? My baby's dead and I'm not crying? Well, do you want to know why? You want to know?
Why don't you tell us, lady?
Because there ain't no tears left. Not a single one. I'm all cried out. That's why.
You better put that down. You've had enough of that.
I think I would have a lot more. A lot more.
You said you killed your little girl, is that right?
That's right.
Well, tell us about it, will you?
No reason not to. No reason for anything anymore.
All right, go ahead.
I killed her. I killed her. It's like I'd put a gun up to her head. I killed her. Is this the same?
Go ahead.
Oh, poor old kid. She didn't want much. Hardly anything. One of those dolls with the hair you can wave, that's all. The doll with curly hair and her mother. And she got the doll. I gave it to her yesterday when we came back from the zoo. They should have seen how happy she was. She was happy. Mm-hmm. Another thing I wouldn't give her. No mother. Poor little kid. She doesn't have no mother. Just me, that's all. It's me.
Yeah.
That's how I did it.
What's that?
Killed her. If I'd been her mother and kept her with me, it never would have happened. She'd be all right now. Neglect. That's what did it. Neglect. And I gave it to her. Never paid no attention to her. All the time, too busy with what I was doing. I didn't pay any attention to her. I didn't pay any attention at all.
All right, come on, lady.
Where are we going?
Downtown.
What for?
I think we'll be able to talk better there.
Oh, I don't want to go anyplace. I'm going to stay right here. My baby is dead. Poor little kid didn't have no mother. Why don't you just go away and leave me alone?
You know we can't do that.
Why not? There are a lot of something that says you gotta harm people. Is that what you're doing?
Frank.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. You leave me alone. You got no right to do this to me. Bartender, come on back here and help. These lousy cops are giving me trouble. Help me.
Come on, lady. You're only making it harder on yourself.
Leave me alone. Get away from me.
Come on, don't cause any more trouble.
If you were a gentleman, you wouldn't do this to me.
If you were a lady, we wouldn't have to. We We took the woman back to the city hall. After several cups of hot coffee, she straightened out enough to give us a story. She went over each step of the previous day, naming all the places she and her daughter had gone and all of the foods they'd eaten. There was no apparent cause for the child's death. In talking to her, we found that the child was wearing different clothing when she was brought to the hospital. Frank and I drove out to Mrs. Guyman's sister's home and picked up the dress and the coat the little girl had worn. It was turned over to the crime lab, 2:15 p.m. Funeral Friday. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to check it. Right. Yeah, as soon as we know. Right. Ray Pinker over at the lab.
Yeah?
Just finished going over the little girl's dress.
Find anything?
Yeah, a couple of stains.
Yeah?
Traces of poison. Along with the crew from the crime lab, Frank, Mrs. Guyman, and I went back to her apartment where a thorough search was started. From the analysis of the stains found on the child's dress, Sergeant J. Allen said the death might have been caused by minute quantities of poison in another fluid. While he and his crew went over the apartment, Frank and I talked to Mrs. Guyman.
Couldn't be anything here.
Was the child alone at all yesterday?
No, I don't think so. We went to the zoo and came back here. Gave her the doll, and we played with that for a while.
Mm-hmm. Did you leave the apartment at all?
Yeah. Went down to the corner to make a phone call. Only gone a couple of minutes.
Your daughter was here alone then?
Yes, but she couldn't have gotten into anything. I was only gone a little while. I was still playing with the doll when I got back.
Miss Guyman, our crime lab seems to think she might have been poisoned by some sort of polish.
Well, what do you mean?
Looks like a metal polish of some kind.
I don't have any of that in the house.
You sure?
Certainly. I don't know. My place. They have to tear everything up like this.
It'll all be straightened out.
I hope so. Seems like there's never going to be an end to it.
Joe?
Yeah, Jay.
See you, man?
Mm-hmm. What do you got?
I think this is it. I found out in the kitchen under the sink.
Metal polish.
Yeah.
Isn't one of the standard brands. Certainly isn't one of the off brands either, is it?
I've never seen it before.
Wow.
The bottle's almost empty. Cap was off when we found it.
Any chance it might have spilled out?
No, it doesn't look like it. Not on the floor around the bottle. If you want to come out in the kitchen, we'll check it for prints. They got the kid out there.
Right. Can you tell for sure, Jay?
No, we can get an idea, though. There, Joe, it's coming through. You see there?
Yeah. What do you think?
After all the child's prints, to be sure. It looks like it, though. The fingers are pretty small. There, you can see yourself. Pretty tiny.
Yeah. I guess that does it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks, Jay.
What'd they find? You know how it happened?
We think so, yeah.
How?
We found an empty bottle of metal polish in the kitchen. Looks like your daughter drank some of it.
She couldn't have. I was with her all the time. She couldn't have gotten to it.
You said you left her alone.
But not that long. She didn't have time. I was only gone a couple of minutes. That's all. Just a couple of minutes.
That was long enough.
It's not true. Just making it up, trying to make it all my fault.
No, ma'am.
Yes, you are. You're trying to make out I did kill her. You're saying it's my fault. Well, it isn't.
Well, then you tell us.
Huh?
Whose fault is it?
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On August 18th, an inquest was held in the coroner's office in and for the county of Los Angeles, state of California. After examining all the evidence, a coroner's jury decided that the death of Melissa June Guyman was due to accidental poisoning.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to Bunko Fugitive Detail. A secretary tells you her employer has suddenly left town. She says he's taken all the company records with him. Your job? Check it out.
It was Monday, May 18th. It was cloudy in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of Bunko Fugitive Detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Didion. My name's Friday. We were on our way back from lunch, and it was 1:46 p.m. when we got to room 38. Bunko Fugitive.
Sergeant Friday?
That's right.
They told me to see you.
Yes, ma'am. It's my partner, Frank Smith.
How do you do?
Good afternoon.
My name's Gibbons. Claire Gibbons.
Would you like to sit down there?
Thank you.
All right.
Well?
Yes, ma'am.
It isn't anything when you put your finger on it. At least, it isn't anything I'm sure of.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't even my idea. Coming to the police. Mama said my mother advised me to discuss this matter with you.
I see.
She's always claimed there was something funny about my job. She said this just goes to prove it. I'm sure she's mistaken. Sure, Mr. Orlean wouldn't do anything wrong.
Mr. Orlean?
Oh, he's my boss, my employer, Henry Orlean.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, he's disappeared.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
And when did you see him last?
Friday. Friday evening when I left the office, 5 p.m.
Have you checked with his home?
I don't know where he lives. He never told me.
I see.
He's never gone out of town before. Not since I started working for him.
Well, how long has that been?
7 months. 7 months on the 3rd.
What kind of business is he in?
Uranium. Uranium stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple Uranium Investments Incorporated. That's the name of his company.
I see.
Well, don't the other employees have any idea where he went?
There aren't any other employees. I'm the only one.
Oh, I see.
Have you talked to missing persons?
No, I haven't. You see, Mama doesn't think he's missing. She says he skipped out, that he's a crook.
Does your mother know this, Mr. Orlean?
Only what I've told her about him. They've never met. She's been suspicious from the very beginning, though.
Afraid I don't follow you.
Well, it's kind of hard to explain.
How's that?
You see, the thing is, Mama just can't understand why he ever hired me. The employment office sent me to see him, along with 7 or 8 other secretaries. Mr. Orlean picked me out from all the rest.
Was there something strange in that?
Well, the truth is, I'm not much of a stenographer. Not a real good one, that is. I get kind of nervous whenever I have to take dictation, and my typing's just fair, too. I could do real clean copy if they'd just let me take my time, but they never do.
Is that right?
Except for Mr. Orlean. He doesn't rush me or get me all upset. It's the first time I've ever been able to hang on to a job. Pays awful good. $20 a week more than I ever earned before.
That's all.
Mom couldn't believe it when I told her. She said there was a catch to it someplace.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be different if if I wasn't playing. 2 or 3 of the other girls who tried out for Mr. Orlean, they were very attractive, and they all had nice clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Mama sure was surprised when I told her he'd picked me. There's a catch to it somewhere, that's how she put it. He's up to something, and he wants a secretary who's not too bright.
Well, I'm afraid we're going to need more than that to start an investigation, Miss Gibbons.
Yes, sir. I see. Well, thank you very much.
Just a minute. Does he owe you any back wages?
Oh, no. I'm paid up a month in advance.
Mm-hmm.
That was another thing that seemed funny. I mean, when you think about it now, it seems funny.
Well, what do you mean?
My being with him less than a year and him wanting me to take a vacation with pay, a whole month off.
How'd that come about?
Well, it was just last week, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
A week ago today when he brought up the subject. He said it was getting on toward summer and I ought to start thinking about where I wanted to go on my vacation.
Yeah.
I told him I didn't feel entitled to a vacation yet. He just smiled and said it was up to him to decide that. That he's the boss, wasn't he? Then he insisted I tell him just where I wanted to go. I couldn't think of any place at all, and he finally asked me why I didn't visit my sister in Hawaii.
I see.
She's married to a Navy officer stationed in Honolulu. I guess I must have mentioned her to Mr. Orland. I guess that's how I knew about her.
Yes, ma'am, must be.
But the idea of ever paying her a visit hadn't even crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to argue with him, but he pretended to get mad and told me if I was a good enough secretary to deserve a holiday, he's going to see that I got it. And then he said he'd make up for it when I got back, that he'd really pour the work on.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he wasn't serious about pouring the work on, but it did seem like he really wanted me to go to Hawaii.
Well, why didn't you take him up on it?
Well, I meant to. I had my ticket. Round-trip flight. Mr. Orland paid for it, just like he said he would.
Yeah.
I was supposed to leave Saturday night. I sent Ann an airmail letter telling her all about the trip. That's my sister, Ann Burcott.
Yeah.
Well, Saturday morning, she wired me not to come. Her husband's being transferred in a week or two. Well, she wasn't sure where. Maybe back to the States.
I see.
Oh, I suppose I could have made the trip anyway, but it wouldn't be any fun going someplace where I didn't know anybody. I don't make friends very easy.
Is that so?
Well, I didn't know just what to do, whether Mr. Orland would still want me to take the month off or not. I went down to the office this morning to talk to him about it. He wasn't there. Everything was gone.
Yeah?
From the safe, all records and stock certificates, everything. And corporation papers he had framed up on the wall, they were gone, too.
Had somebody broken in?
I don't think so. The door to the suite was locked when I got there. I had my key.
And what about the safe?
I don't understand.
Well, was the safe open or closed?
Closed.
Well, how'd you happen to look inside?
I telephoned my mother and told her that Mr. Orland wasn't there, and she said I'd better check and see if anything was missing. Said it sounded to her like he'd skipped out.
Mm-hmm.
After I looked in the safe, she told me to get in touch with the police.
Well, now, just exactly what sort of business was this uranium company?
Mr. Orland invested in various uranium stocks.
For other people?
Yes, that's right.
Which bank did he use?
Western National. The account's in the main branch.
I'll give him a call, Jim.
Yeah, okay.
Well, there just wouldn't be any reason for him to run away, would there?
Well, it's pretty hard to tell yet.
I mean, he was doing a real good business.
Well, that might be a reason.
Oh?
Do you know the names of his customers?
Well, the people who invested in Mr. Orland?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I could remember some of them. The books are gone, though. I wouldn't be able to recall them all.
I see.
The old customers, the ones who've been with us for several months, I'd remember them.
Uh-huh. Was the business new when you started to work with it?
Yes, sir, brand new.
Find out anything?
Yeah. Orlean closed out the multiple uranium bank account last Friday evening, a little before 6.
6?
Yeah. Banks stay open late on Fridays,
Oh,
Joe.
yeah, I forgot. How much did he withdraw?
Just under $100,000.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
I guess Mama was right about him.
It's starting to look that way.
I should have known. From the beginning, I should have known.
What?
She's always right.
While Frank put in a call to Sacramento to check on the corporate status of multiple uranium investments, I asked Clara Gibbons to give me a detailed description of the suspect. 2:28 p.m., Sacramento reported that no such corporation had ever been authorized. We ran the name Henry Orlean through R&I. They had nothing on him. We turned the description and MO over to the stats office. They came up with 7 possible stock fraud artists. We pulled their mug shots and showed them to Miss Gibbons. She was unable to identify any of the pictures. 3:07 p.m., Miss Gibbons accompanied us to the Wendler building on Wilshire Boulevard in the Miracle Mile. We went up to Suite 4D.
Just a second till I find my key.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, here it is. This is the outer office where I work.
Mm-hmm.
That's his office in there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's real fancy.
Have you talked to the building manager today?
No, sir.
Is he around, do you know?
Well, there isn't any manager. Not exactly. The owner has an office down the hall.
Oh.
I'll be glad to find out if he's in.
Thank you.
You'll be here?
Yes, ma'am. Well, very impressive quarters, huh?
Must have been a very impressive guy.
Yeah. Look at that, Joe. I wonder what he had up there.
Hmm?
Up on the wall. See that spot? Looks like there used to be a picture or something.
Well, those incorporation papers, maybe, huh?
Phonies?
I don't know. As far as the state of California is concerned, they're phonies.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mr. Wendler. Mr. Wendler is Sergeant Friday.
How are you?
I do.
And this is... I'm awfully sorry. I don't seem to remember your name.
It's all right. My name's Frank Smith.
Well, pleased to meet you. This is our identification, you must say.
Forget it.
Well? You're the owner of this building, are you?
Well, it's the Wendler building. I'm Ted Wendler.
Yes, sir?
Draw your own conclusions.
Yeah. Do you have any objections to answering a few questions, Wendler?
No.
All right, will you answer them for us, please?
I thought I was.
Yes, sir. I asked you one before. Do you own this building?
Outright.
That isn't important.
Well, it's important to me. It's important to the mortgage company.
Is it in your name?
Yes, it's in my name.
All right, fine.
And what about the man who rented this suite?
Orlean?
Yes, sir.
Well, what about him?
Do you know he left town?
Well, she just told me.
Did you know about it before?
No.
What can you tell us about him?
He's a broker or something. Uranium stocks, I guess.
So we got that much.
That's all you know about him, huh?
Yeah.
How long has he rented from you?
Let's see, a little over 7 months. Be 8 on the 3rd.
Did he mention anything about where he had offices before?
No, he said he was from back east.
Any particular place?
No. Why, what's he done?
We'd like to talk to him, that's all.
Well, maybe he'll come back.
Uh-huh.
Well, if he doesn't, it's all the same to me.
What?
I made him pay his rent in advance whole first year.
Is that your usual practice?
No, only with fellas in the stock market. You see, I remember 1929.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen, not with fellas in the market.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I remember 29.
Yeah.
If Orlean stays away, I'm way ahead of him. Rent's paid up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nearly 5 months ahead of him.
Yes, sir. I wish we were. Ted Wendler confirmed Miss Gibbons' description of the suspect and insisted he could tell us nothing further about the man. While a crew from the crime lab went over the offices, we again questioned Clara Gibbons. She gave us the names and addresses of some of the people who had invested money with Orlean. 4:48 p.m., the crime lab reported that they'd been unable to discover any useful fingerprints in the suite. The only physical evidence they had uncovered was a copy of a prospectus which purported to list various securities owned by multiple uranium investments. It had fallen behind a filing cabinet. The next day, May 19th, Frank and I checked with several of the uranium companies listed on the prospectus. They all informed us that none of their stock had ever been purchased by Multiple Uranium Incorporated or Henry Orlean. 3:13 p.m., Frank and I drove out to interview one of the victims.
Would you like to sit down?
Thank you. Miss Custis, do you know a man named Henry Orlean?
Yes. Yes, I know him. Why?
Did you ever invest any money with him?
$5,000. And nothing's happened to Mr. Orlean.
We're not sure yet.
How'd you happen to give him the money?
Well, it was some insurance my husband left me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd kept it in savings. Didn't bring in much interest. When I heard about Mr. Orlean's company...
Where'd you hear about it? You remember?
At the hospital.
Ma'am?
St. Agnes Children's Hospital.
Oh?
I spend a day a week there helping out in the charity ward.
I see.
I'm on some of the committees, too. You know, fundraising, things like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm not one of the big people behind the work, but somebody has to get out and dig for the little donations, too.
Yes, ma'am, they do.
And I have quite a bit of free time now.
Do you remember who it was that first mentioned Mr. Orlean to you?
I think it was Mrs. Lawrington.
Lawrington?
Yes, Mrs. Arthur Lawrington. You must have heard of her. She does so much charity work around town. She's very prominent socially.
Yes, ma'am. Just what did she say about Mr. Orlean's company?
Well, she wasn't talking to me exactly. One afternoon, when she was showing some people the plans for the new clinic, I guess she was asking them for some contributions. That's how it sounded. And one of the ladies said it all depended on how well her husband's stocks did during the next quarter.
Oh, I see.
And Mrs. Lawrington laughed and told her her husband ought to be in multiple uranium, but he wouldn't have anything to worry about.
Go on.
Well, that was all I heard. They went on to the next room. Afterwards, I got to thinking, if this uranium stock was good enough for Mrs. Lawrington, maybe I ought to check into it. You know, you're always hearing about people making fortunes in uranium.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I looked up the company in the phone book and talked to Mr. Orlean. At first, he wasn't very anxious for me to invest, but when I told him I knew Mrs. Lawrington, he said he'd take me in as a favor to her.
When was all this?
Oh, about 4 months ago.
Have you seen Mr. Orlean since?
No.
You heard from him?
Not directly. I get a dividend check every month, though. Stock's paying very well. I figured it out. On a yearly basis, it'll come to over 30%. You can't do much better than that.
No, ma'am.
I told some of my friends about it, too, so they could get in on it.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am.
You still haven't explained what this is all about.
Well, we're trying to get in touch with Mr. Orlean, that's all.
Oh, the Wendler building on Wilshire Boulevard. That's where his office is, the Wendler building.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't he there?
No, he isn't.
I don't understand.
Orlean seems to have disappeared.
What about my money?
I'm afraid that went with him.
Why, that isn't possible. He couldn't have. Mrs. Lawrington said it was a good stock.
Yes, ma'am. We'll talk to her about it.
Well, he paid me dividends every month. Good dividends.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't count on any more of them.
What? Why, I'll bring charges against him. I'll have him put in jail. He'll find out. But that's all you need, isn't it? Somebody to bring charges?
No, ma'am, not quite.
Well, what do you mean?
We need him. Frank and I left Mrs. Custis and drove out to interview another victim, Mrs. J.T. Pressing on Highland Avenue. She told us that she had invested $8,000 in multiple uranium. She also told us that she had first heard about the stock through a friend who was on the fundraising committee for St. Agnes Hospital. We interviewed 3 more victims. All of them were in some way associated with the hospital or were acquainted with Mrs. Arthur Lorrington. 8:45 p.m., we drove up to the Lorrington estate in Bel Air. A maid showed us into the library and said that Mrs. Lorrington would see us in a few minutes.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
That's her.
Hmm?
Up there on the wall, that painting, that's Mrs. Lawrence.
Yeah.
Saw it in the Sunday paper once. Society page.
Mm-hmm.
Real honest to gosh artist did it.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm. Probably flatters her a lot.
Maybe.
Well, it's bound to.
What makes you think so?
Well, it stands to reason, Joe. If all a person wants is a good likeness, a photographer ought to do the trick.
Yeah.
Artists know that, too.
They do.
Mm-hmm. Figures they want something else. Want to look better, so he flatters them.
Oh, I see.
That's the way it works.
Are you gentlemen waiting for me?
Mrs. Lorrington?
That's right.
We're police officers. This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Well, I'm sure it's my husband you want to talk to. Unfortunately, he's in San Francisco on a business
No,
trip.
ma'am. We'd like to talk to you if you don't mind. You know a man named Henry Orlean?
Orlean?
That's it, yeah.
The name sounds familiar, but I meet so many people, it's hard to be certain.
Have you ever heard of a stock called Multiple Uranium Incorporated?
Oh, yes, of course. Well, I didn't associate the two for a moment. That's Mr. Orlean's company, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any money invested in that stock?
No, not me personally, but I can vouch for the company if that's what you want to know.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I'm on the fundraising committee for St. Agnes Hospital. Matter of fact, I'm the chairman.
Yes, ma'am, we know.
And we do own some of Mr. Orlean's stock. The hospital, that is.
But tell us, how'd you happen to buy it?
Oh, we didn't. It was a donation.
Would you mind telling us from who?
Oh, no, not a bit. Mr. Orlean himself.
I see. When did he give it to you?
Last year, September. Yes, it was September. It's a charity bazaar. I don't recall the exact date, but I can find out for you.
Well, September's close enough. Just what was this bazaar?
A party here at my home. We opened the grounds to the general public. A garden party and auction combined.
An auction?
Mm-hmm. Some of the most picked people donated the items we sold, and all the money went to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
We raised over $25,000, not counting what Mr. Orlean gave us.
Mm-hmm. That's the stock donation.
That's right. He congratulated me on the bazaar. He seemed to be very interested in charity work. I said we would certainly use his help, and he offered to do whatever he could.
Go ahead, please.
He said that unfortunately he couldn't give us cash at the moment. He mumbled something about a tax problem. I'm not really too clear about those things. Everyone seems to be having tax problems nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of an outright gift, he offered us a block of stock in his company.
I see. Now, just how much stock was involved?
500 shares, I think. Yes, something like that. At any rate, he said the market value of what he was giving us would be in the neighborhood of $10,000.
Did he tell you anything else about it?
He didn't go into the details of his corporation, and I certainly didn't question him. You don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yes, ma'am.
All I recall, he said his company owned shares in other uranium companies so that the money was well diversified.
Now, was that all?
Yes, I believe so. Except that he made one request.
What was it?
He asked me not to sell the stock for at least a year.
Did he give you a reason?
Oh, yes. He said that within a year's time it would double in market value. And in the meantime, the hospital would be receiving excellent dividends.
I see.
As a matter of fact, the dividends have been remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
Something like $500 a month, I believe our treasurer told me. Mr. Orlean must be a very shrewd investor.
Did you ever discuss this uranium stock with any of your friends, Mrs. Lorrington?
Why, yes, once or twice. One of our committee meetings, when we were going over the books, we were surprised at the return it was paying us. We all talked about it then. I suppose I may have mentioned it since.
Mm-hmm.
Just in conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Mr. Orlean upset that I told other people about his company? I didn't know he wanted it kept secret.
No, he wanted you to tell him.
Well, then.
Several people that you discussed multiple uranium with invested in the company as a result.
It's a perfectly sound investment.
No, ma'am.
What?
Orlean has disappeared, and so has their money.
I'm sure you're mistaken.
The stock he sold him was phony. So was the stock he gave your hospital fund.
It couldn't be. Look at the dividends it paid.
It was just good advertising.
You mean he used the hospital? He used me?
I'm afraid so.
I just don't know what to say. I've never been involved in a situation like this before.
Yes, ma'am.
It's terribly distressing. I know it's not my fault, but I can't help thinking I should have been more careful, more discreet. Well, I'm sorry. I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me. I don't feel like talking anymore. I'm very upset.
We understand.
Anita will show you out.
We'll find a way. Let's go.
Oh. I was just looking at that painting up there again. No, I was right, Joe. Platters are.
The interview with Mrs. Lorrington had enabled us to establish the suspect's M.O. Additional bulletins were sent out alerting all police departments, charity organizations, and fundraising committees. During the rest of the week, we interviewed other victims of the stock swindle. None of them could furnish any additional information about the whereabouts of the man who called himself Henry Orlean. 3 weeks later, on June 9th, we received a report from the Chicago Police Department. They informed us that a man answering Orlean's description had worked an oil stock swindle in that city during the previous year. He had then used the name of Roger Norgett. They also told us that this Norgett was suspected of an earlier stock swindle in Kansas City. Neither the Chicago nor Kansas City police had a positive identification of the suspect, but in both cities, the M.O. had been the same. The suspect had donated a block of phony stock to a charitable organization, had paid very high dividends on the donated shares, and then had been able to acquire investments from private persons. Wednesday, June 11th, 3:17 p.m. Frank and I were in the office.
Sergeant Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
You remember me? Clara Gibbons. I used to work for
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Orlean.
How are you? What can we do for you?
Mama just found him. Mama just found him. Mr. Orlean.
Where?
Over on Hill Street. She was just walking along and she saw him.
Is she sure it's him?
Positive. Please hurry.
Just a minute, Miss Gibbons.
Yeah, what is it?
Didn't you tell us your mother had never seen this man?
Well, she's seen him now. He was walking down Hill
Well, how does
Street.
she know it's him if she never saw him before?
I told her what he looked like dozens of times, all about him.
I see.
For heaven's sake, you don't have to see a person to know what he looks like. Mama would recognize Mr. Orlean anywhere. She's said so half a dozen times. She can describe him better than I can.
Oh.
My mother's very intelligent, Sergeant. She's not like me. Now, please don't stand here and argue about it, or he'll get away.
Well, just where is he?
The Norridge Hotel, corner of Hill and Haldane.
I thought your mother saw him on the street.
Well, she followed him into the hotel. She didn't want to lose him. He went upstairs, and she telephoned me from the lobby. She said she'd wait there to make sure he didn't leave.
Oh, I see.
She told me to bring you as soon as I could. It's nearly half an hour since she called me. We haven't got much
All right,
time.
Miss Gibbons. All right, we'll check on it right away.
You're going to arrest him, aren't you?
If it's the right man.
Well, of course it's the right man.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me a minute.
Do you have to answer it now?
Uncle Fugitive Friday. Yeah, that's right. I see. Fine. Okay. We'll forward our warrant to you. Will you send us a notification by telegram? Thank you. We sure are. Many thanks. Salt Lake City Police Department.
Yeah?
Picked up Orlean this morning. Tabbed him from our circular.
They sure it's him?
Gave him a full confession. Admitted the KC and Chicago deals, too.
But it couldn't be Mr. Orlean. He's at the Norridge Hotel.
Well, Miss Gibbons, I'm afraid your mother was mistaken.
I've never known Mama to make a mistake.
Well, we all make them.
Well, she's waiting for us at the hotel. What'll I tell her?
Well, let's see. I guess there's only one thing.
What's that?
Tell her not to wait.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On August 16th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Francis Caxton Wheatley, alias Henry Orlean, alias Roger Norgett, was tried and convicted of grand theft, 7 counts, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Grand theft is punishable by imprisonment in the county jail for no more than 1 year, or in the state prison for not less than 1 or more than 10 years. Holds were placed on the suspect by the states of Illinois and Missouri at the termination of his sentence in San Quentin.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service. Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to burglary detail. After weeks of investigation, a suspect in a burglary is picked up. You've got the evidence for a conviction, but over $200,000 in loot is still missing. Your job? Find it.
It was Saturday, March 5th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of burglary detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Bernard. My name's Friday. We're on our way back from the cell block, and it was 9:45 a.m. when we got to the interview room. Felony section.
I'll get the light.
Come on in, Bowen. Sit down.
Over there.
You want to smoke? Here's a light. You want to talk to us this morning? You're not doing yourself any good this way, Bowen.
We checked your apartment, Bowen, found a set of tools our crime lab says are the ones used in the Hendricks job.
We can put you in the front room of the house. You're dead, Bowen. Why don't you admit it? This is the first time you've been nailed for anything big. You go along with us, and the judge might take it into consideration. If we have to write it up this way, he's liable to throw the book in your face.
Who was with you on the job, Bowen?
We know you didn't swing it alone. Somebody had to carry the light.
Come on, who was?
All right, what about the loot? Where's that?
That stuff's not going to do you any good in the joint.
There's over $200,000 in furs and jewelry missing. We know you had it. Now, where is it?
How about it, Bowen? You're just causing yourself a lot of grief.
Okay, let's go. On your feet. Come on.
Too bad, Cop.
Is that so?
Sure. There's nothing you can do to make me tell where the stuff is. Not a thing.
Sure.
You're never going to find out where it is. Never.
Well, it really doesn't make a lot of difference. You're never going to use it. 3 weeks previously, on February 10th, two unidentified persons had entered a home in the Bel Air district. They'd taken furs and jewelry valued at over $200,000. The investigation conducted by burglary detail had netted one of the suspects. He was identified as Cade Bowen, WMA, 32 years. His arrest record had listed several charges of drunk driving and disturbing the peace. However, he'd never been picked up on a felony before. In spite of our efforts, we'd been unable to break him down. He refused to identify the other suspect or to tell us where we could recover the stolen goods. All of his friends and relatives were questioned. None of them could aid us. The case on him was prepared for the district attorney's office, and we continued to look for the other suspect. Monday, March 7th, 8:02 a.m., I checked into the squad room.
That you, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, you're late.
A couple of minutes here. I got it. Burglary Friday. Oh, yeah, Emery. Mm-hmm. Sure. No, not a sign of it. Well, we'd like to hear it anyway. Where can we meet you? Where? Yeah, all right. We'll be right over. About 5 minutes. Right. Goodbye. It was Emery.
Who?
Emery Docks. Says he wants to see us.
What about?
Some stolen fur coats. Frank and I left the office and drove over to see the informant. We found him in Pershing Square watching a checker game.
Just a minute, Joe. I'll be with you.
All right.
No, not that one. He always does it. Okay, let's go. Always the same with that guy.
Is that right?
Yeah, always the same. Set him up that way and he'll jump. As soon as he does, game is over. He can't see it, but it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Real pigeon for the setup. We can sit over there and talk.
You know my partner, don't you, Emery?
Yeah, sure. Hi.
How you doing?
Not too bad. Guess you can't win them all. We can sit there.
What do you want to see us about?
Oh, I fell over something day before yesterday. Thought maybe it'd make sense for you.
Mm-hmm.
Met a guy who had some coats for sale. Price he was quoting had to be hot.
Where'd you meet him?
Bar over on First.
So your friend?
Not to make a touch. I see him in the bar once in a while, but he don't ever buy a drink.
Mm-hmm.
The other night he got real palsy-walsy. I don't know, maybe he was gassed or something. But he sure was friendly.
You met him in the bar?
Yeah, he stopped in to have a belt before I ate. This guy was there, sitting on the stool next to me. Got to talking. He almost knocked me over when he bought a drink. Right on the floor, he knocked me.
Mm-hmm.
One thing led to something else. He asked what I was doing. I said, oh, just about anything to turn a buck. He asked me if I had any money I wasn't using. I said I didn't.
Yeah.
He said it was too bad. He said if I could raise a couple of long bills, he could turn me on to something good.
The coats? Huh?
Yeah. Told me how a friend of his came up with these fur coats, wanted to dump them, said the price was real good.
What kind of coats were they?
Mink, full length. Had a couple of those scarf things, too. He said they were Stone Martin or something, you know, where the skins look like they're biting each other.
Yeah.
Like those, Stone Martin, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Guy made a big thing about how the price was right, and if I had any loot, I could come out with a big thing.
Did he say where his friend got him?
No. Matter of fact, I don't think there was a friend. Coats were in his car. I know if I had that kind of merchandise, I wouldn't put it in nobody else's pocket, that's for sure.
What's this fellow's name, do you know?
Jarvis Dean.
That's D-E-A-N?
I guess so.
What do you know about him?
Well, not much. I told you I see him around. He's an angle fella, always looking for a touch.
You hold any kind of a job?
Not so it would stand out.
How's he live?
Oh, off other people mostly. Once in a while he makes a big score and he's popping for drinks all over the place. A couple of days he's blown the wad and he's back on the dole.
You know where you can find him?
I can't give you no address.
Usually around the bar?
Mostly. You won't find him there for a couple of days now, though. You said something about going out of town, down to Palm Springs. Something about how he could make a contact down there and unload the coats.
This Jarvis Dean ever been arrested?
Well, I don't know. We didn't spend a lot of time talking about jails. Figures, though.
What do you mean?
Well, the way he talks, some of the people I've seen him with, 6'2" and even, they can draw your floor plan of the laundry up at you.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us the name of the people?
Well, if it's all the same to you, I'd rather not. They ain't done nothing to me, and I'd like to keep it that way. Some of them are pretty mean.
Yeah.
You understand, it isn't that I'm afraid, but I don't see no reason to stir nothing up.
Mm-hmm.
Does Dean say where this contact was at Palm Springs?
Oh, he mentioned some bar called Spanky's, that's all.
In the town itself?
Yeah, I guess so. When I couldn't spring the money to go with him, he kind of cooled off. You know, he stopped being real friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I got to thinking about it and figured maybe it'd mean something to you, so... Well, the guy goes around with a couple of grand of furs in his car. He didn't win him in a raffle. Got to be something there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you any good?
Yeah, we'll check it.
When I first heard about it, I thought it'd do some good right away. I thought of you guys right away.
Yeah.
I always like to try and help when I can.
Mm-hmm.
Now it works out both ways. Maybe you can give me a hand sometime. You know, like now?
What?
I could sure use a couple of bucks. Things ain't been going too good.
No, that's too bad.
It's just temporary. It won't last. A couple of days, I got a job coming up. Hotel over on Wilshire. Pearl diving. Guy's been drafted, and I'm in line for the job in just a couple of days.
Well, I only got a couple of bucks, Emery. You can have them if it'll help.
Sure, Johnny. Anything at all.
There you are.
Thank you. Hey, you got a pencil?
For what?
Pencil. Got one I can use?
Yeah, here.
I always like to keep these things legal. You never know.
Good.
There you are. My IOU. Pay you back as soon as I start to work.
Well, don't worry about it, Emery.
No. You gotta do these things up legal.
Can you tell us what this guy Dean looks like?
Yeah, you think there's really something to it, huh?
Oh, we can check it.
Well, sure figured he stole the coats, and any reason he'd want to give them away if he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Guy like that, he don't do nothing for nothing. Gotta be a payoff somewheres.
Well, then he won't be disappointed.
Huh?
There'll be one. Frank and I got the description of Jarvis Dean and the car he was driving, then we returned to the office. We had the name run through R&I, and we found a record. The mugshot was pulled and shown to Emery Docks. He said it was the man who tried to sell him the coats. We put out a local broadcast and an APB on the suspect and his car. 11:25 a.m. Cade Bowen was questioned again, but he refused to give us any information on whether or not Dean was his accomplice in the burglary. At 2:30 that afternoon, Frank and I met with Captain Bernard in his office.
You think it's the Hendricks loot?
Should be. We've checked around. There haven't been any other thefts that cover it.
Got the list?
Yeah, here.
Thanks.
Now, you can see right there, Skipper. 2 mink coats, 1 Stone Martin scarf.
Mm-hmm. What about the jewelry?
Well, he didn't say anything about it. Doesn't mean it's not there.
Mm-hmm. What about this bar in Palm Springs you mentioned?
Spanky's?
Yeah. You know anything about it?
We know where it is.
What kind of place is it?
Resort town bar.
What about the reputation?
Clean. We never had any reports about it.
Uh-huh. You think that's where they'll turn the stuff?
Well, we don't know. All we got's the name.
Someplace to look. One we've had.
You can't get anything out of Bowen?
He won't even admit he's in Los Angeles.
What's he got to say about the evidence?
Just sits and looks at it.
And Palm Springs is the only lead you got?
That's it.
Okay, trot it down. Can you leave right away?
I can. How about you, Smith?
Just call Faye.
That's it, then. Go on down there, see what you can find out. Be sure to check with their department. They might have something for you.
All right.
When will you be back?
Well, if it works out, should be sometime in the morning.
Check with me as soon as you get in.
Yeah.
This fellow Dean got a record?
Yeah, assault 211.
Sounds like he might be heavy.
Possible.
Well, take it easy.
Yeah.
He's the fellow you're after. He's not going to want to give that stuff up.
Well, that puts it on our backs. We got to convince him. Frank and I went down to the carpool and checked out a trip car. 2 hours later, we pulled into Palm Springs. We talked to the local authorities. They had nothing on Jarvis Dean. As far as they knew, there was nothing wrong with Spanky's bar. We got the address of the place and drove over.
Yeah, what'll it be?
Police officers would like to ask you a few questions.
Oh, L.A. cops, huh? Something wrong?
I would like to ask you some questions.
Sure. Come on back here. It'll be easier to talk.
All right.
Well, what can I do for you?
I'd like you to take a look at these pictures. Tell us if you know this man.
No, I never saw him.
How about this one?
Sure. Yeah, he's been around.
Is he here now?
No, he doesn't usually make it this early.
You seen him at all today?
He was in this morning around 10 in there.
You know where we can find him?
What's he done?
Police business.
Well, just so it doesn't get anybody here in trouble. That guy's a real crackpot.
What do you mean?
He's lonely. He's good business, but if I had my druthers, I'd just assume he stayed away.
Why is that?
Well, the way he acts. We got a lot of big people coming here. You know, the picture crowd, a lot of money. They like things quiet. They come down here for a rest, and that's what they want. A guy like that fella, they don't help.
All right.
Sure, he gets gassed, makes a big noise all about how he's buying drinks for the house. The customers don't like that kind of stuff. The drinks aren't bad enough, but he's got to start a pitch.
What do you mean?
I've been trying to set something up, some kind of a deal.
You know what it is?
No, I don't pay a lot of attention. I just hear him talking to some of the people. Gets any worse, though, I'm going to have to 86 him.
Does he come in alone?
Sometimes.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a chick he brings in once in a while. The two of them just sit there and drink.
You know her?
Why, she in trouble?
Do you know her?
Yeah, her name is Blanche. She lives down here.
She around?
She was.
When?
A half an hour ago. Said she was going out to get something to eat. She'd be back.
You know where she went?
No, half a dozen places inside a block she could have gone. If you want to talk to her, the best thing would be to wait right here.
All right.
She was carrying a real load when she walked out. I hope that food helps her.
She said she lives down here.
Yeah, she's got a place out the south end of town.
What's she do for a living, you know?
Well, I don't know. I don't think she's got a job. Seems I heard her say she was divorced. Probably got a chunk of dough from her old man.
She and this fellow pretty friendly?
You mean the guy in this picture?
Yeah.
I guess you could say that. Most of the time they're together.
How often is he here?
Oh, he comes in the place almost every night, you know, when he's in town.
Is that quite a bit?
Yeah, 3-4 days a week.
You ever hear what he did for a living?
No, I don't think he works steady. Hey, there's your girl now.
All right. What do we drink, huh?
Yeah, Blanche, a couple of fellas here want to talk to you, huh?
Oh, that's all? Bring them on. I always like to talk to fellas. If they're friends of yours, old Bart, I know they're okay.
Yeah, sure, Blanche.
Are these them? Hey, now, they're pretty nice looking. You know that, fellas? You're pretty nice looking.
Wonder if we get to a booth, might be a little easier to talk to you.
Oh, same to you. I'll talk right here. I won't say a thing. What's your name, honey?
Friday.
Say, that's a funny name. Like today, huh?
That's right. It's my partner, Frank Smith.
I do.
Oh, come on now. Don't try to pitch that at me. Smith. A phony if I ever heard one. Hey, Bart.
Yeah, Blanche.
How's that drink? Can't stay here all night, you know.
Do you think you had enough of that?
No. You just keep your big yap shut.
You better take it easy, Blanche.
Take it easy, nothing. Ain't no fellow with a name like Friday and Smith gonna tell me and not to have a drink. They're a couple of phonies. That's what they are.
All right,
Phonies.
just settle down now. We're police officers.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Well, I'm the Queen of Sheba. How do you think of that? What do you think of that, Mr. Phony?
Come on, Blanche. You better quiet down.
Don't yell at me, you bartender. You got any class at all, you keep these mashers out of here. A fine, lousy bar you're running.
Let's go outside, lady.
You just try and take me out there. You come another step, I'll knock your head off.
Blanche, please, honey, take it easy.
All right, miss, you said enough. Now let's go outside.
Oh, sure. You got a big picture of that, me going out there, and you two can gang up on me. No, that's N-O. I ain't going no place with you.
You got it wrong.
I have I? Well, I'll just show you. Police! Police! Somebody help!
We are the police.
You want another cop? Help! Police!
Sit down.
All right. I know when I'm late. You don't have to shove me around anymore. Just leave me alone, that's all. Just leave me alone.
You got some
hot coffee?
Yeah, sure, I'll get it.
Bring it back to this booth here, will you? Come on, everything's going to be all right, lady.
No, it isn't. Not ever again. Not ever.
All right, sit down here. There's a handkerchief.
I never did anything like that before.
That's all right.
I guess I'm arrested.
Not yet.
I didn't mean anything by it. Nothing. Just I didn't know you guys, and then I was a little drunk. Just all of a sudden I wanted to hit something. That's all. Just hit something. You were handy.
Here's your coffee.
Thanks.
You want cream or sugar?
No, what?
Anything I can do for you?
No, that's all.
I'll be up front if there's.
All right.
Go ahead, miss. Try the coffee. Might make you feel better.
Oh, it's hot. I'm too sorry about hitting you.
That's all right.
Really? It's nice of you to say so. What were you going to ask me when all this started?
You want to take a look at this picture here and tell us if you know the man?
Sure. I guess I owe you that. Is the guy?
Yeah, that one there.
Sure, it's Jarvis.
Last name Dean?
Yeah.
What do you know about him?
Guy. Had a couple of drinks with him.
You know where he is?
Not now. Saw him this morning. Had a cup of coffee. Haven't seen him since then.
Is he still in town?
I don't think so.
You know where he is?
No. Said he run up to L.A. on some business.
Did he say what kind of business?
No. We didn't talk much about that.
You got any idea where Dean was going in L.A.?
He didn't give me an address.
Did he say when he'd be back?
Uh-uh. That's what we had the beef about. He just shoved off. Said something about meeting the guy up there. Said this fellow's in some kind of trouble and that he had to try and square it.
Did he say who it was?
Let's see. I'm not sure I can remember.
It's pretty important.
Now, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. It was Bowen. Yeah, I had to see a guy named Bowen.
Did he say what it was about?
No. Not that I can remember. He just told me that he and this Bowen guy were on a deal together. Bowen had lost it up. Said he had to take care of him.
The description of Dean's car that the girl gave us matched the one we'd gotten from our informant. We checked the room he'd occupied in Palm Springs. We talked to the local authorities. They agreed to check further on the suspect. Frank and I left for Los Angeles. The following morning, we contacted Captain Bernard.
It all goes together.
Huh?
You better find him fast.
Why, something wrong?
I don't know, but it could happen.
What do you mean?
Bowen was released on a writ last night.
Additional bulletins were gotten out on both men. Bowen's house was put under surveillance, and all of his known hangouts were watched. 2 days passed without word. And then on Thursday, March 10th at 10:57 a.m., Frank and I got back to the office from checking out a lead.
Ready?
Yeah.
Note in the book for you. Important.
Thank you.
What is it?
Supposed to call the sheriff's department.
Wonder what it is.
I don't know yet. We'll find out.
Well, I didn't figure you would, Joe, not until you made the call. Just wondered what it was.
Dave Terry, please. Well, Dave? Joe Friday. No, we haven't. Where? Any idea when that happened? No, we better come over and see you. Right. Bye. We're in trouble.
What do you mean?
I don't know. They found a body out on the desert this morning. Looks like it was a hit and run.
Bowen?
No, Jarvis Dean. Frank and I left the office and went over to the Hall of Justice where we met with Sergeant Dave Terry. He showed us the photographs taken at the scene and the reports filed by the officers who discovered the body. From the appearance, it had been struck by a car traveling at high speed. A thorough search had been made of the area, but no trace of Jarvis Dean's car could be found. There was no apparent explanation as to how he'd gotten out on the desert. Another local and an APB was gotten out asking that Kate Bowen be picked up for questioning on suspicion of murder. A week went by. There was no word of the suspect. Border stations had been alerted in the event he tried to escape into Mexico. Checkpoints at the California-Nevada border had descriptions of both the car and the suspect. Saturday, March 19th, Frank and I got back from the stats office.
Well, it's another dead end.
Yeah.
Where to now?
Oh, we can check with the skipper, see if he's got any ideas.
All right.
Come on in. Where you been? Been looking for you.
Stats office. They just finished a run. They didn't come up with anything.
You don't need it.
Huh?
You got half the country looking for Bowen, and he's in your pocket.
What do you mean?
Main jail. Picked up last night in 502.
Cade Bowen had been picked up the night before at the corner of 7th and Hill Streets. He'd been observed by a radio car driving in an erratic manner and had refused to stop when the officers directed him to. After a 10-block chase, he'd been halted, but when the officers asked to see his identification, he told them he didn't have any. He was taken to the main jail and booked on charges of drunk driving. A check of his fingerprints had revealed his name, and we were notified. His car had been impounded, and the crime lab was going over it. We had the suspect brought to the city hall.
What is it this time? I held up the Federal Reserve?
All right, come off it, Bowen. You know where you're sitting now. This is the last time around for you.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
You won't hear it again.
Where you been for the last week?
Sleeping.
All right, now, where?
Any place I could find a soft mattress? Hey, you guys ought to pull some strings and get some new bedding over the main jail. Those bunks are hard.
Sure. You know a man named Jarvis Dean? Jarvis Dean, do you know him?
Might.
That's no answer.
That's the best I can do.
Look, mister, we're getting tired of playing with you. You're in trouble, and it doesn't come in any bigger sizes. Now, I'm not going to tell you to play it smart because you wouldn't know what I was talking about, but you snap to and answer these questions. Now, do you know Jarvis Dean?
I met him.
When'd you see him last?
A couple of weeks ago.
We understand he was with you on the burglary.
It's a fairy tale.
We got it straight.
I didn't know you listened to gossip.
Where'd you get the car you were driving last night?
I bought it.
From who?
Used car dealer.
Well, then you tell us why it's registered to Jarvis Dean, will you?
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Last time we talked to you, it was for a burglary beef. It's a lot more serious this time.
That's so.
That's right. Suspicion of murder.
Who'd I kill?
Jarvis Dean.
You're out of your head.
We always are. Now tell us why he let you drive his car.
I don't know if it is his car.
Department of Motor Vehicles says it is.
We checked it. All of the stolen merchandise was found.
Now, you got no right to go through my things.
Last time we heard of the stuff, Jarvis Dean had it.
What's the matter? Did you have a fight about what to do with it?
Maybe you got sore because he was letting you carry the beef yourself. That what happened?
Come on, Bowen. You're boxed in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let's check the office, see if there's any word from the crime lab.
I'll do it then.
Tell you what, cop. You win, I'll tell you.
About Dean?
I don't know anything about him. I'm talking about the burglary.
Yeah.
I did it. You don't have to go any further.
No deal. We got you on something bigger. I think we can make that hold up.
Look, I'm willing to cop out to the others.
How'd you do?
Well, here's the report.
Well, that wraps it up.
Yeah.
All right, Bowen, let's go.
Huh?
We don't have to talk to you anymore. The crime lab just finished going over the car.
Yeah?
They found where you had that fender repaired.
Well, some drunk ran into me.
They checked the springs underneath, found traces of fabric, matched the jacket Dean had on when he was killed.
We got enough to make you on it.
You can't prove I was driving the car. Now, there's no way you can prove it.
We think we can.
Go ahead. You just take it into court. Try. By the time you get through, the judge and the jury will be laughing.
All right?
Sure, they'll tell you how far out you are. They'll laugh right in your face.
They'll tell you something, too.
Yeah?
And they won't be laughing.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On July 16th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Cade Neil Bowen was tried and convicted of murder in the first degree and received sentence as prescribed by law. On recommendation of the jury, he was sentenced to life imprisonment in the state penitentiary, San Quentin.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
ladies and gentlemen. The story you're about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to juvenile detail. You get a report that a teenage boy has been found in a downtown alley. He's in critical condition. Your job? Check it out.
It was Wednesday, November 16th. It was cool in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of juvenile detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Powers. My name's Friday. We're on our way into the office, and it was 9:17 p.m. when we got to the second floor of Georgia Street Juvenile. The squad room.
I don't know, Joe.
What?
You see a kid like that, you start wondering.
Yeah.
15 years old, trying to hold up a liquor store. Kind of worries the guy.
What do you mean?
What about your own kids? How are they going to turn out?
Well, most of them turn out okay.
Yeah, can't help worrying, though.
Well, you're a father.
Maybe you're better off, Joe, not having the worries.
You really believe that?
Well, I guess so.
Well, why don't you stop trying to marry me off?
Oh, say, that reminds me.
Yeah.
You know the Phillips live down the street from us?
I don't think I do.
They were over for dinner the same night you were.
No.
Last summertime, Faye made fried chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Remember it?
I remember the chicken. Go ahead.
You're going to spend Christmas with us, aren't you?
Christmas.
Faye told me to be sure and remind you. It's only a month or so off.
That's soon.
Yeah. Can we count on you?
Yeah, if we're not working.
Swell. I'll let Faye know.
What's this got to do with the Phillips?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's got nothing to do with them, Joe. Why are you so darn suspicious?
Which one of them has the sister?
Huh?
Come on, Mr. and Mrs. Which one?
Both of them, for all I know.
Well, which one has a sister who's coming out here for the holidays? Which one?
Mrs. Phillips.
And they're all going to be at your place for Christmas dinner, is that it?
Well, Faye hasn't asked them yet. She wanted to be sure that you...
Mm-hmm.
Okay to ask them?
They're your friends.
You won't regret it, Joe. You know Mrs. Phillips is darn nice looking. Good talker, to her. For sisters, anything like
Just
she
do
is.
me one big favor, will you?
What's that?
Christmas is still 5 weeks away. Don't start selling me now.
I wouldn't try to sell you on any girl. You know that.
You bet.
I never even met this one. I was just thinking that sometimes you can kind of sort of judge a person by family and...
Juvenile Friday. Where's that? I see. Yeah. Found a kid lying in an alley off Sheridan Street. He's hurt pretty bad.
An accident?
Knife in his back. Frank and I drove out to the address where the victim had been found. It was a dark alley that opened onto Sheridan Street in the block between 5th and 6th. An ambulance had been called, and the boy had already been moved to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. 9:42 p.m. We talked to one of the patrol car officers who had discovered the body.
We're only a couple of blocks away. We headed right over.
Where'd you find him?
Yeah, I'll show you. Right here against that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Must have lost a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Knife still in him?
Mm-hmm. Small of the back. Looked like he'd been beat up, too.
You say anything about who did it?
Well, he mumbled something. We couldn't understand him, and then he passed out.
How old would you say he was?
Oh, 15, 16, maybe.
Uh-huh.
He's a good-looking kid, about 5'8", black hair, blue eyes, regular features.
What kind of clothes?
Jeans and a jacket, windbreaker type.
See anybody around who might have done it?
No, not a soul. The street was deserted.
Mm-hmm.
My partner's out looking now. I'll give him a hand.
All right.
Who filed a complaint?
I don't know.
Well, we check the board.
I'm afraid that won't help. Well, they don't know either.
While a patrol car officer searched the neighborhood for suspects, Frank and I canvassed the area for the person who had reported the crime. 10:16 p.m. We talked to the patrons in the nearby bar and grill. They denied having any knowledge of the assault. 10:42 p.m. We entered a small tobacco shop on the corner of Sheridan and 8th.
Evening, gents.
How are you, sir?
All right. What can I do for you?
We're police officers. This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Sam Crest here.
Mr. Crest?
Something troubling you fellas?
I'd like to talk to you for a minute, that's all.
Done anything I shouldn't?
No, sir, not as far as we know.
Well, you never can tell, you know. The way they keep making up new laws nowadays, a person can be a criminal without even half trying.
Mm-hmm.
Too many rules. That's what's wrong with this country. Too darn many rules.
Yes, sir.
Ought to be just one.
How's that?
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Golden rule. That ought to be more than sufficient.
Yeah.
Don't work out that way, though. A man could live up to it every day of his life and still wouldn't keep him out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
Golden rule don't say nothing about paying income taxes or taking out licenses or filing Social Security reports. Well, does it?
No, doesn't seem to.
But you're in jail if you don't do them.
Yeah.
Man can live, but the golden rule don't make no difference.
It makes a difference.
Oh, some maybe, but not enough.
Have you been here all evening, Mr. Crest?
Since supper time.
When was that?
6:30. Eat at the drugstore over on Soto Street. Stopped serving food at 7.
I see, sir.
What time did you get back to the store, do you remember?
Oh, 5 odd, maybe.
And you've been here ever since?
Sure. You ain't doubt my word.
No, sir.
I tell the truth, you know.
Yes, sir.
May not get all of my government forms figured out right, but I'm a truthful man.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody suspicious come in here tonight?
Suspicious?
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid you'll have to explain that. You see, I ain't no policeman. Folks don't look suspicious to me. They just look like folks.
Well, any strangers, then?
Sure, lots of strangers. 8 or 10, maybe.
I see.
Strangers to me, leastways. I don't get acquainted with folks easy. Man comes, buys a pack of cigarettes or some tobacco. Don't make him a friend.
Well, now, sir, most of tonight's customers been in before.
Oh, well, some of them had, yeah. Some of them hadn't. I don't keep track.
I see.
Did you hear anything out on the street?
Traffic. Folks walking by. You fellas sure ain't very specific.
Well, anything like a fight?
Front of my place?
In the neighborhood.
Well, I didn't hear no fight. Somebody get to mixing it up?
Looks that way.
Oh, yeah, that's the trouble with this world. People always squabbling. Wherever you go, whatever you do, it ends up in squabbling.
Mm.
Who was it?
We don't know yet.
Anybody hurt?
Yes, sir.
Well, probably brung it on himself.
Maybe.
Were there any youngsters hanging around your place tonight, Mr. Crest?
Youngsters?
Teenagers?
Well, if there was, I didn't notice them. Kids, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, I just don't know what we're coming to.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sure. Right.
Good night, sir.
There was one.
How's that?
One young fella. He didn't hang around, though. He was in a big rush.
You know him?
No, I don't think I ever saw him before.
Could you describe him for us?
Oh, just an ordinary kid.
How big was he?
Oh, not big. He come up to about here on me.
Mm-hmm.
Probably don't have his full growth yet.
I see. Do you recall how he was dressed?
Well, I didn't pay much attention, only in the shop a couple of minutes.
What color was his hair?
Light, reddish, or blondish.
Nice-looking boy?
Oh, no better or worse than most.
What time did you see him?
Must be nearly a couple of hours ago, along about 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Come charging in all out of breath.
Yeah.
Asked if I had a phone. I pointed out the booth over there in the corner.
Go ahead.
Well, there's nothing more to tell. He run over to the booth, made a call. Wasn't on the phone more than a few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Then he come out and left the shop.
Anything else you can tell us about him?
I don't think so, no. Except that when he was leaving, he wasn't in a hurry like when he come in. He sort of peered out the door first.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed as though all the steam had gone out of him. He looked back over his shoulder.
Yes, sir.
Doggonest expression on his face.
What do you mean?
Like he was scared to death.
While we're in the tobacco shop, we telephoned Georgia Street Receiving Hospital and talked to Dr. Sebastian. He told us that the victim was in a critical condition and had been moved to General Hospital. He also told us that they'd not been able to identify the boy. We called General and asked to be notified when he was able to talk. 11:31 p.m., Frank and I went back to the office. Homicide was notified. The patrol car officers who had discovered the body reported that they had not found any suspects in the vicinity of the crime. 11:46 p.m., we checked with the crime lab. An examination of the weapon had revealed no useful fingerprints. It was a spring blade knife with an 8-inch blade. 12:02 a.m., Frank and I went off duty, and another team of detectives continued the investigation. The next morning, Thursday, November 17th, 8:12 a.m.
Morning, Joe.
Hi.
Anything new?
No, not so far.
How about missing persons?
Nobody's reported them.
It's funny. You'd think somebody'd be looking for him by now, his folks or somebody.
Yeah, you would.
Mm-hmm. Any coffee in that thing?
Yeah, help yourself.
Right.
Probably cold by now.
Better than nothing.
Did you miss breakfast?
Yeah, I wasn't hungry.
Oh.
You're right.
Huh?
It's cold.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
About Christmas.
What about it?
Well, we won't invite Mrs. Phillips' sister if you don't want us to.
Mm-hmm.
No. I got thinking last night people shouldn't force a guy to get married and raise a family if it's against his best judgment.
Well, who's getting married and raising a family? It's just a Christmas dinner, huh?
Yeah, but you know Faye.
Well, you know me. I got it. Juvenile Friday. Yes, sir. All right, sir. Thank you very much. General Hospital. The boy's coming, too.
Yeah? We talked to him?
Yeah, for a minute or two. We better get a move on.
Oh?
Doc said to hurry. Frank and I drove out to General Hospital. The doctor in charge of the case was waiting for us in the hall outside the patient's room.
Smith and Friday?
Yes, sir. Is it all right to go in?
Don't stay too long.
All right.
You going to be all right, Doc?
It's too soon to tell. If the wound was an inch higher, I could give you an answer.
Yeah?
You'd be dead.
We went on into the room. The shades were drawn and the victim was in semi-darkness. His eyes were open, but he closed them as soon as he saw us enter.
How you feeling, son? Son?
I'm okay.
I'd like to talk to you for a couple of minutes.
No way of stopping you, is there?
What's your name, son?
What's yours?
Smith, Frank Smith. My partner's Joe Friday.
Cops?
That's right. Well?
Well, what?
How about telling us who you are?
I forgot.
Oh.
You know, amnesia.
Yeah.
How'd you get hurt, kid?
Forgot that, too.
We're trying to help you, son.
Not my fault if I don't remember nothing.
You know you're pretty sick.
Sure.
But it's not amnesia.
You a doc?
No.
And you tell what's wrong with me.
Who knifed you?
Now, what happened?
Come on, what's your name?
Abraham Lincoln. You guys can call me Abe.
All right, we'll find out.
Go ahead.
What were you doing on Sheridan Street last night?
That where I was?
You want him to get away with it?
Who?
The fellow that stuck a shiv in your back?
Now, who'd do a thing like that?
That's what we want you to tell us.
Hey, you know what?
Hmm?
It's all starting to come back to me.
Tell us about it.
There was this black sedan, see?
Mm-hmm.
Great big job.
Yeah.
I was walking along the street, sedan pulled up beside me, 12 guys jumped out.
Yeah.
Told you it was a big job.
Mm-hmm.
6 of them tried to grab me.
All right, that's enough.
But you want to know what happened? They was all wearing masks.
I said that's enough.
Sure.
Now, you listen to me, son. We're going to find out who you are and who stabbed you.
Sorry I ain't in a position to offer a reward.
You want your face in all the newspapers?
What for? I ain't important.
I said we're going to find out who you are. Well?
Okay, if you want to play detective.
Let's have it.
Tom.
Tom what?
Marcotte.
Where do you live?
Diamond Street.
What number?
Apartment house, corner of Diamond Olympics, second floor in the back.
Now, suppose you tell us what happened last night.
Guy jumped me, that's all I know.
Who was he?
I don't know. I never saw him before.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
What did he look like?
I don't know. It was dark.
Somebody your own age?
Heck no.
How old was he?
30, 35.
Why'd he pick you?
I don't know. Must have thought I had some dough.
You never saw him before.
That's what I said.
How tall was he?
I don't know.
Did you get a look at his face?
Uh-uh.
Didn't tell us anything about him?
Nope.
But you know how old he was.
I got a feeling, that's all.
Yeah.
Where do you go to school?
Taylor High.
What year?
10th.
Any gangs in your school?
I don't know.
You don't belong to one, do you?
Nope.
You had any kind of trouble lately?
What kind of trouble?
With the other kids at the school.
Didn't you guys get anything straight? It wasn't a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you live with, Martha?
My old man.
Where's your mother?
Under a tombstone.
We'll get in touch with your dad.
What for?
He might be worried about you.
Want to bet?
We were unable to get any additional information from the victim. We went back to the office and checked the name Tom Marcotte through R&I. They had nothing on him. 9:47 a.m. Frank and I drove out to the address he'd given us. It was a 2-story stucco apartment house, badly in need of repair. We went up the second floor.
Must be this one. Yeah. I don't hear anybody.
Take it easy, will you? All right. What's all the pounding for?
Marcotte?
Yeah?
We're police officers. Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Well, what do you want?
Come in for a minute?
If you don't, I'm going to fall flat on my face. Oh, boy. My head's coming apart in shreds.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of tied one on last night.
That's so.
Haven't got an aspirin, have you?
No, sir.
Right not.
Can of beer?
No.
No.
That's what I really need. Usually keep a couple in the refrigerator for an emergency like this.
Mm-hmm.
But that kid of mine's been guzzling them again.
We'd like to talk to you about your son, Mr. Marcotte.
Yeah?
You know he didn't come home last night.
Didn't he?
Nope.
No way of me knowing it. I work nights, drive a hack, don't get home before 5. He leaves for school before I wake up.
I see.
What'd you pick him up for?
He's not under arrest.
Huh?
He's in the hospital.
Hospital?
That's right. He was stabbed last night.
Huh?
Yeah.
He's going to be all right, ain't he?
They don't know yet.
Oh.
We thought you might be able to help us.
Help you?
Yeah, find out who did it.
You know who your son's friends are?
I don't know nothing about him. We don't... Well, we aren't very close.
Let me see.
Has he been worried lately about anything? Upset?
No more than usual.
How's he doing in school?
Lousy.
Oh.
They always ask me to come down and talk to him. Principal, his teacher.
What do they say about him?
I don't go. I went a couple of times when he first came to live with me. Didn't do any good.
That's so.
I can't change him. Anything I tell Tom just rubs him the wrong way. So he's on his own.
How long has your son lived with you?
3 years.
How about before that?
He was with his mom.
Yeah.
She divorced me a couple of years after he was born. Took him with her.
Mm-hmm.
When she died, there was nobody else to look after him. He had to come back to me.
Yeah.
Hey, get me a glass of water. Only take a second.
Yeah.
Looks like the kid was right.
Huh?
About his father.
Maybe.
He doesn't seem very upset.
No.
He's got to stop his drinking.
Yeah.
Never used to feel like this when I was younger.
Is that right?
He'd go on a bat for 2-3 days, come out of it and feel okay. Can't take it anymore.
Officer, we'll be leaving. If you'd like to see your son, he's at General Hospital.
Tom asked to see me?
He's pretty sick, Market.
You talked to him, didn't you?
That's right.
He asked to see me?
No, he didn't.
Didn't think so. I guess I can't blame him for hating me. He figures I didn't want him after his ma died. Figured I had to take him.
Yeah.
Tried to tell him different. He didn't believe me. We just can't talk, Tom and me.
Mm-hmm.
Father and son living in the same apartment. Like we speak a different language. Think I'd go down and see him?
Well, that's up to you.
Be nice for me. It's funny. Live with somebody who hates you, your own son.
Well, maybe you're wrong about him.
Yeah, I see it in his face, his eyes, the way he talks. Every time I look at him, I can see it. Tom's the one who's wrong.
Yeah.
It's not his fault, but he's wrong. You wouldn't believe it on a stack of Bibles. Even you guys don't.
What's that?
But I love him.
Frank and I drove out to the Taylor High School on Grand Avenue. 10:57 a.m. We interviewed the principal, James Wingor. He told us that Tom Market was a poor student and that he was difficult to manage. He also told us that the boy had a good mind and was capable of much better work than he performed. He was unable to throw any light on the knifing and suggested that we talk with the victim's homeroom teacher, Miss Nora Rollins. 11:16 a.m. We interviewed Miss Rollins in a small room which adjoined the principal's office.
I'm supposed to be giving an English examination during this period, Sergeant.
Yes, ma'am. This will only take a couple minutes.
You have a student named Tom Marcotte.
Certainly, he's in my homeroom.
What kind of a boy is he?
Noisy, lazy, impossible to discipline. Similar to a number of the others.
Mm-hmm.
He's absent today, though.
Yes, ma'am, we know.
Something happened to Tom?
He's had an accident.
An accident or a fight?
Why do you say that?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Has he had any fights lately?
Came to school with a cut lip 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Does Tom have any particular enemies?
I really don't know. There are over 75 students in my homeroom. It's a little difficult to know very much about any of them.
Yes, ma'am.
How about friends? Who's he pal around with, do you know?
Nobody in particular, as far as I can tell. No, wait a minute. There's one boy.
Ma'am?
Arthur Jollett.
What does he look like?
He's small, red-haired, almost as troublesome as Tom.
Is he in school today?
I believe so.
Well, ma'am, is there anything else you can tell us about Tom?
No, except that I don't have much hope for him.
How's that?
I've asked his father to come in and see me several times. So far, he's always declined the invitation.
No.
Is Tom badly hurt?
Yes, ma'am, pretty bad.
What was it?
Knife wound.
No. 17 years ago, when I first started teaching, that would have shocked me.
I see.
It was a very naive young lady, Sergeant.
Is that right?
I thought all a person had to do to become a teacher was to take the right courses, get a degree, and a credential.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed such a simple matter. I wanted to teach English literature, so I studied English literature. Shakespeare, Chaucer, Browning, Keats, Shelley.
Yes, ma'am.
As I continue in the profession, I discovered that I omitted one essential course.
What's that?
Judo.
We asked Mr. Wingor if we could interview the student named Arthur Jollett. He asked his secretary to have the boy sent into us.
Sounds like he's the one who called in the report.
Yeah.
Must have been with Marcotte when it happened, huh?
Come in.
You want to see me?
That's right. Come in, son.
You're Arthur Jollett, huh?
Ain't that who you asked for?
Sit down, son. We're police officers. This is Smith. My name's Friday.
You have a friend named Tom Marcotte?
I know him.
Pretty good friend of yours, is he?
He's a friend.
You been with him lately?
When?
Yesterday, day before?
Sure.
Where?
Here. We've got some of the same subjects.
How about after school?
Uh-huh.
You saw him after school, did you?
Night before last.
Last night, too?
Uh-huh.
Where were you last night?
Movie.
Well, who'd you go with?
Went along.
What movie?
Double bill in Hollywood.
What'd you do afterward?
Hitched a ride home.
Spend any time around Sheridan Street?
Where's that?
You want us to show you?
Huh?
Come on, we'll take you over there.
What for?
I'd like to have you meet a man who runs a tobacco shop in that part of town.
You kidding or something?
Young fella came into his place last night.
So?
The way he described him, it could be you.
He must be blind or something.
Well, let's find out. Come on.
Come on.
Okay, so maybe I was in his neck of the woods. What's the beef?
Your friend Market was around there, too, wasn't he?
Coincidence.
Yeah.
What's the matter with Tom, anyhow?
Why?
He ain't been in school today.
He's in the hospital.
Oh.
Good thing you called us when you did. He might be dead by now.
Who says I called you?
Man who runs the tobacco shop?
How the heck could he tell it? Well, I mean, who I was calling.
All right, Jollop. Give us the whole story now, will you?
What story?
Come on, let's get it over with.
If it's about Tom, ask him.
We're asking you. You want us to take you in?
Of course not.
It's up to you.
Ain't much to tell. Just walking around, Tom and me.
Yeah.
Fellow jumped out from an alley, came at us with a knife.
Go ahead.
Took a swing at Tom. I ducked off.
Yeah.
Called the cops. That's all I know.
Who was it, Jollop?
Your guess is as good as mine.
We don't think so.
Suit yourself.
I thought Tom was a friend of yours.
He is.
Well, we want to know who stabbed him.
What do you expect me to do, dream up a name?
How big was he?
Medium size.
How old?
19, 20.
Tom says he was about 35.
Tom ought to know. He's a lot closer to him.
All right. Let's go down to the juvenile bureau.
Before I told you everything I know.
Want to show you some mug shots.
Forget it. I wouldn't recognize this picture.
Let's give it a try, anyway.
I'll take it easy, will you?
What's the matter?
I don't want to be seen leaving with you guys.
Is that right?
Wouldn't do my reputation any good.
Who are you afraid of?
I ain't afraid.
The guy who knifed your buddy? Is that who you're afraid of?
Look, if Tom wanted you to know, he'd have told you, wouldn't he? Tom ain't dead.
All right, come on, Jollop. Let's go.
Give me an answer. Is Tom okay or not?
Does that make any difference to you?
Sure, it makes a difference.
It doesn't look like it to us.
I'm no squealer.
All right, you've had your chance. Now you got to go in. Come on.
You can't arrest me.
A boy was stabbed last night. You saw it. As far as we know, you're the only other person who was there. Now you figure it out.
I didn't have nothing to do with it. Tom will tell you so. You throw me in jail, my old man will kill me.
Well, that's tough.
I ain't going to take the rap.
It's up to you.
Okay, it was Jerry.
Jerry who?
Longman.
You go to the school?
Yeah.
What was it all about?
Tom tried to date Jerry's girl. Jerry heard about it. Followed us last night.
I'll get a hold of Longman.
All right.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Jerry finds out I squealed on him, he'll do even worse to me. He ain't going to find out, is he?
We won't tell him.
If it tumbles, you can start sending flowers. Jerry's the big man around school.
Yeah.
We're 6 foot, lots of muscle, lots of shove.
Well, that doesn't make him a big man, does it?
Huh?
He needs a knife.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 2nd, a hearing was held in Juvenile Department, Superior Court, State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Petitions were filed on both the victim and the subject. The victim, Thomas Marcotte, was placed under 24-hour supervision in a foster home. The subject, Jerome Longren, due to a previous juvenile record and the viciousness of the attack, was sentenced to a juvenile correctional establishment.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a robbery detail. A gunman has robbed a bank in your city. From his method of operation, you know he's dangerous. Your job? Get him.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, May 4th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. It was 12:36 p.m. when I got the call, and it took me 8 minutes to get back to the city hall. Robbery squad room.
Back here, Joe?
Yeah.
Back here.
What's up?
Oh, bank job and slugging. We got a rule on.
Where?
Corner Melrose and Fountain.
Anybody else on it?
Yeah. J.J. and Murph went out.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Friday, Smith?
Yeah, Lieutenant.
You two going to cover the bank holdup?
Yeah, we're just leaving.
Donahoe called in. He's out with J.J. and Murph.
Uh-huh.
They got it covered out there. Skipper wants you to tag Georgia Street and talk to the guard. See if you can get any information out of him.
All right. What's the name?
I haven't got it. There's a uniformed man with him. Old guy's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
When the thief left the bank, the guard tried to stop him. Old man pulled a gun, misfired, pistol whipped the old guard. He's in critical condition. We just got word that you can talk to him if you get right over there. Better make it fast.
All right.
And good luck.
Yeah.
We got to come up with an identification. We got to get it in a hurry. The guy's still running. Matter of time before somebody gets in his way.
Yeah.
We can't count on it next time. The gun jamming.
12:47 p.m. Frank and I left the city hall and drove over to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. It took us 5.5 minutes traveling code 3. We went up to the 3rd floor and met the officer who'd been with the guard.
You fellas from Central?
Yeah, Friday and Smith.
I want to see the victims.
You missed him.
What do you mean?
He died 5 minutes ago.
We checked with the doctor in attendance and found that the victim had said nothing to aid in identifying the suspect. We returned to the office. A local broadcast on an APB had been gotten out on the man carrying his description. The crew from the crime lab had gone over the premises of the bank without gaining any new information. The clerks and tellers had been brought to the city hall to check the mug books. Everything possible was being done to apprehend the bank guard's killer, but without being able to identify him, the job was almost impossible. At 2:48 p.m., we got a call from Captain Donahoe.
That's right, Skipper. No, they're in the mudroom now. No, not yet. Oh, wait a minute. Joe, you want to toss me that pad there?
Yeah.
Here you go, Skipper. Yeah? I see. I got it. No, we'll check right away. Yeah, as soon as we find out. Yes, sir. All right, goodbye.
What do you got?
I checked around the neighborhood, found a newsboy, and saw the suspect leave the bank.
Yeah.
Kid got the license number.
An immediate check was made with the Department of Motor Vehicles and with our vehicle records. It took us 2 minutes to get the information. Yeah, we figured it'd turn out that way. Hey, want to give me the address? All right. Okay, we'll run it out.
How about it?
Car was stolen a week ago. A team of men went out to talk to the owner of the automobile. Additional broadcasts were gotten out on the stolen car carrying the license number, the make, and model description. In the event the car was found abandoned, it was to be staked out, and we were to be notified. Roadblocks were set up in the area adjacent to the bank, and all vehicles were checked. Captain Donahoe came in from the scene, and a meeting was held between him and Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. At the time, 25 officers from Robbery Division were trying to find a lead to identify the thief. We knew what he looked like, what kind of car he was driving. We knew what kind of gun he had, and how much money he'd stolen, but we didn't know who he was or where to find him. The night dragged on. At 1:26 a.m., we got our first break in the case.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm one of the bank tellers.
Yes,
The officer who was with us went out to bring in some coffee.
I see.
He said if we found anything, to come in here.
Yes, that's right.
Well, we have. All of us agree. We're real sure.
What is it?
The hold-up man. We found his picture.
The suspect was identified as Thomas Bud Carey, WMA, 26 years. According to his package, he'd been arrested the first time when he was 16. He'd served a total of 5.5 years in state institutions. We checked with Fred Galloway of the Adult Authority and found that there was an outstanding warrant on Carey for parole violation. Additional broadcasts were gotten out carrying his name and description. Officers in the field were notified of the latest developments. While other teams of men covered Carey's known hangouts and friends, Frank and I left the office and drove out to see his mother. She lived in a run-down apartment house on the east side of town. The building was dark when we got there.
Yeah, here it is, number 5. Watch that.
They ought to put a light in here. This ought to be it.
Yeah.
Maybe easy Carey might be here. Open up. Police officers, we want to talk to you.
Nothing for the cops. Get out of here and leave me alone.
Come on, Miss Carey, open up.
I ain't Miss Carey no more. Now go away.
We can do it two ways. You can talk to us here, or we can go downtown.
What's it about?
Your son.
On in. Where's he going?
We want to check.
For what? There ain't nothing here. One lousy room. That's it.
You can see.
It's the kitchen. Better take a look at the stove. Might be something there.
That place is clean, Joe.
It's not true either. Now, what do you want?
Have you seen your son?
He in trouble again?
We'd like to talk to him.
What's he done now?
You know where he is?
No.
You know where we can find him?
I haven't seen him for a couple of months. Might as well be dead.
Well, he isn't.
Ain't any difference to me, one way or the other.
You know where he lives?
It ain't here.
That's no kind of an answer.
Question don't fit either. Look, I'll tell you. I'm his mother. Long time ago, I gave him to the world. I've had trouble ever since. Gallagher again. I'll sleep with the radio on.
Lady, you got any idea where we can find your son?
Nope.
You got any close friends?
Maybe. If he has, I don't know.
How about girls?
What about him?
Has your son got one?
Last time I saw him, he had a couple. Both of them married. Same as always. He couldn't do anything the easy way. If it wasn't a problem, he'd make one.
Is there any place he'd go if he was in trouble?
What kind?
Ma'am?
What kind of trouble? What's he done this time?
It'd be better if we talked to him about it.
Yeah, always that way. Talk to him. Don't do any good. I tried for a lot of years. Didn't do no good. You know why?
What's that?
You know why it don't do no good?
Go ahead.
Because he don't listen. You can stand right in front of him and scream the top of your head right off, and he don't hear you.
Is that right?
He was little. First time I caught him stealing, I talked. All day and all night. For a week, I talked. He stood there and looked at me. It was over. You know what he did? You know?
No, ma'am.
He did it again. Every time he turned around, he stole something. I tried it all. Beatings, yelling, all of it. I tried it all. His father walked out when Bud was 6, left us by ourselves. I did everything I could to bring him up right. Read the books, saw the minister. Even had the relief people talk to him. He just wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
That time when he was 16, when we first picked him up, I thought that might do it. You know, being in jail, a judge in the court. Oh, I prayed it'd work and he'd change.
No.
Didn't. A couple of days later, he was right back.
You tell his probation officers about it?
Bud was 5'10". He was 16, weighed 170 pounds. If I'd opened my mouth, he'd have hit me.
Pretty hard thing to say, isn't it?
Oh, it's harder to live with. All the time, all the tears. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of working. I'm tired of being alive. I used to pray for him. Asked God to make him come out of it, be a good man. I prayed and I prayed. And I figured I was praying for the wrong thing. So I changed.
No.
I know him. I know how he thinks and what he'll do. He's mean. In the soles of his feet, he's mean.
Mm-hmm.
I still pray. Maybe you're the one to do it.
What's that?
Kill him.
Frank and and I arranged for a stakeout on the building, then we drove back to City Hall. Captain Donahoe and Chief Brown were directing the search from the robbery office. The morning papers had carried the story, and we were receiving calls from citizens who'd seen Carey. From the report, it was believed he'd gotten out of the blockade area, and he was heading for the San Fernando Valley. Roadblocks were thrown up on streets leading off the freeway, and additional men were called in from the Valley Division to aid us in the search. 7:42 a.m. It had been 19 hours since Carey had held up the bank. In that time, the entire facilities of the police department had been devoted to his capture. Lieutenant Dave Terry from the sheriff's office had joined Captain Donahoe and was coordinating their activities with ours. 7:45 a.m. Frank got back with some hot coffee.
Anything new?
No, got a report Carey was seen at the Vineland cutoff.
Check out?
Don't know yet.
I got some coffee for you, George.
Oh, thanks.
Anything happen?
Yeah, we got him pinned down.
Where?
Valley.
A lot of ground.
Well, we just got a call. Carey pulled into a gas station in Riverside. Attendant recognized him. Tried to stall. Carey got wise, started to leave.
Yeah.
Pulled a gun and shot the man up pretty bad.
Kill him?
No, they got him in Valley Emergency.
What about Carey?
Still loose.
Toner?
Yes.
Friday? Smith?
Right.
I see. We got him.
Where?
Broke into a house on Woodman. A couple of motorcycle officers got him pinned down.
Well, let's go.
Joe.
Yeah.
Tag the business office. Check out everything in the racks.
All right.
Go with him, Frank. We'll need gas shells and masks. Barricade and penetration. Better take a box of double lots for the shotguns and plenty of 45s.
Right. You be there?
Leaving now.
I'll go join Frank.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's getting rougher.
Yeah. Wonder about the house he's picked.
What do you mean?
Who's in it? What kind of place it is?
Doesn't make a lot of difference. We still got the same job.
Huh?
We got to get him out. We left the city hall and drove out to the Valley, Code 3. By the time we'd gotten there, several other officers from Central Robbery and the Valley Division were on the scene. We talked with Sergeant Pat Murphy of our office.
What do you know about the place?
6 rooms. Here, let me lay out for you. Got a pencil?
I got a pen here.
Oh, thanks. All right, now, the house is built in the shape of a U.
Mm-hmm.
The living room runs along the front, the dining room here on the corner.
Here?
Yeah. Now, the kitchen is here, and here's the back door.
Any cover there?
Officers have found him while watching it.
Yeah.
There's a closet here off a service porch.
Go.
On the other side, there's a bedroom here, door, the bath, and another bedroom.
Just the 2 doors.
Yeah, the front and the one off the kitchen.
Where'd you get this layout?
I talked to the woman next door. She's a friend of the family, owns the place, been inside a lot.
Where are they?
With the family?
Yeah.
We're not sure. Neighbor says she thinks they're all out, and the man goes to work at 6. Woman usually drives the kid to school about 7:30.
Who put out the call?
Motor officers. They saw the car parked at the curb, went to check it out. Carey was inside. He made the house.
They tried to get him out yet?
No, they weren't sure he was alone.
How'd you do?
Well, we got here right after they did. By the time we got to the curb, he started to shoot.
Any chance of getting to him from the back of the house?
Oh, it'd be rough. The shades are all pulled down. Hard to tell where he is. If we go in, he could be sitting under the window waiting for us.
How about the phone?
We tried, and he won't answer it.
Well, that all of it?
Much as we got. Well, what do you want to do?
I'll give him a chance to walk out. It'll be his choice.
Talk to him?
Yeah. Give him a chance to open the door.
Well, it's going to be hard. We haven't been able to get near the place.
Now, big thing's to make sure he's alone.
As far as we've been able to tell, he is. There's no movement inside, no noise. Trying to round up the family now.
Can't wait for that. Let's get on it.
I'll try to talk to him.
Well, you can't make it, Joe. He's in a box and he knows it.
Well, maybe that'll bring him out.
You want to do it? Go ahead.
All right.
He makes a move. Get out, fast.
I won't need that.
We'll give you coverage.
All right. Last time you heard from me was in the living room. Is that right?
Yeah. There's 3 windows on the left there.
Okay.
Easy, Joe.
Carey? Carey? Carey. Come on, Carey. You can't sit in there forever. Play it smart. Walk outside and it'll be all right. Don't cause any more trouble now. How about it? Carey? You're making it rougher on yourself. Come on out, Carey. You can't win. You know that. Oh, get out of there! I don't have to tell you, it didn't work.
Yeah. Clock ran out before you started.
Carey isn't going to walk.
Nope.
Well, he called it.
Yep.
Get the gas guns.
The people living across the street and on each side of the house were asked to leave their homes in the event there would be any more shooting. The riot guns were brought from the car and they were loaded with penetration gas shells. Because of the physical layout of the house, it was decided to shoot into the rear of the building and try to drive the suspect toward the front of the place. Officer Murphy, along with Lieutenant Stoner, went back to the alley that ran along the rear of the property. The two uniformed men covered the sides of the house, and Frank and I took up our stations in front of the building. 9:14 a.m.
How's the time?
Well, they ought to be in position.
Mm-hmm.
You all set on that gun?
Yeah. You think he'll give up?
I don't know. Flip a coin.
Ought to be laying it in now pretty quick.
There it goes.
The way the house is divided, he could close the doors to the back rooms and keep us going for a while.
We still have an idea where he is in the house.
Yeah. I'm sure pouring it in.
Yeah.
It's lousy stuff. Tear gas. Lousy. Still remember it from the academy.
Frank. Front window, see it?
No, where?
Shade was pulled back. I think I saw something.
Carrie?
Get the Stoner. Tell him to hold the gun.
Yeah.
There's a woman in there with him. Because of the possibility that there might be another person in the house, all shooting into the building was stopped. An immediate effort was made to identify the other person. The owner of the place, Virgil Bush, was contacted. He told us that he and his wife had left the house at about the same time. She'd taken their son to a neighborhood school, and then he thought that she'd returned to the house. A check was made at the school, and the youngster was found to be present. From all indications, Mrs. Bush was in the house with Carrie and was being held a hostage. 10:56 a.m., we met with Captain Donahoe and Lieutenant Stoner.
Any chance you were wrong, Joe?
No, I don't think so. Right after the guns went off, I thought I saw the woman at the front window. Looked like she was trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do now, Skipper?
Not much left. That woman's got to get out of there before we can go in after Carrie.
Best way to do that's go in after her.
Yeah.
What about using triple chasers?
Might work.
If we go in the back way, we can drive Carrie toward the living room.
Yeah, but what if he takes the woman with him?
Keep him busy enough, and he won't.
Figure she's given him plenty of trouble by this time. It's going to be rough for him to drag her along.
Then it might work.
Who's going in?
Frank and I can do it.
You can give us a cover.
Where are you going to make it?
Which rooms did you hit, Stoner?
Back bedroom and the kitchen.
That covers both sides of the house, then.
Yeah.
The gas holding?
As far as we can tell, it's still there.
Well, it might be better then to go into the bedroom, drive Carrie into the living room, hope we can pick up the woman on the way.
All right. You got the masks?
I'll get him. Want to give me a hand, Frank?
Yeah.
We'll give you all the cover we can, Joe.
Good.
We can't shoot into the house, but we'll make Carrie think we are.
All right.
Once you got the woman, bring her out.
All right.
If Carrie goes into the living room, don't try to go after him. Let him sit for a while. We'll take care of the rest of it later.
Okay.
Here you go, Joe.
All right.
Here are the triple chasers. 6 of them ought to do, huh?
Yeah.
I'll take the sawed off. You should be able to handle him with that.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell either one of you to take it easy.
Nope.
We want that woman, but we want her alive. Anything comes up that gets in the way, pull out. Don't wait to ask questions.
Right.
All right, get on it.
Let's go, Frank.
Right.
Joe.
Yeah.
Carrie's rough. He's playing for keeps. You know he'll kill you if he gets a chance.
Well, that makes it easy.
Hmm?
We won't give him one. Frank and I went around to the back of the house and put on the gas masks. He loaded the shotgun and flipped off the safety. I checked the triple chasers. They're about the size of a beer can, and they're built like a hand grenade. 2 seconds after the pin is pulled and the lever is released, the shell explodes into 3 parts. Each of them throws out a large quantity of tear gas. By using them, an officer can completely fill an area with gas almost immediately. A few minutes after we were in position, the covering gun fire started.
Oh, that's it. Let's go.
Yeah.
You going to toss one in the bedroom?
Better. Make sure it's clear.
Okay.
I'll watch it.
Go ahead. I'll cover you.
All right. All right, come on.
All right. That's clean.
Yeah, let's get the next room. It's the bathroom, isn't it?
Should be.
Well, if you get the door, I'll toss the shell.
Right.
Wait a minute.
You got the pin?
Wait a minute. Ah, go ahead. Give it a second.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
And it's empty.
Yeah. Bedroom next?
Uh-huh.
Hold it. Okay. Now, let's go. It's Carrie! He's in the living room.
You better get him.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
On the bed, it's the woman. Come on, we better get her out of here.
Right. You naked?
I think so. Get that window, will you?
Yeah. Wait till I get the shade. I'll go first, and I'll take her on the outside.
All right.
Hold it right there, Terry. It's us, Murph. Friday and Smith, give us a hand. We got the woman.
Here, let me help.
Okay, Joe.
Right, you got her?
Yeah.
All right. Come on, let's get her out of here.
Wait till I get this mask off, will you? Okay, Joe.
Wait a minute. Yeah. How's the woman?
Well, she seems to be all right. Want to give me a hand getting this tape off?
Yeah.
Thank God you made it. I thought he was going to kill me. Every minute I thought he was going to kill me.
All right, now, Miss Bush, take it easy.
He's crazy. That man's crazy. If you hadn't got it, he'd have killed me, sure. I know.
All right, Miss Bush, let's get out of here. Come on.
You got her, huh?
Yeah, Skipper.
You all right, ma'am?
Yes, it isn't his fault, though. I've never seen anybody like that before.
All right, Mrs. Bush. You want to take her to the car, ma'am?
Sure. Just a minute, ma'am.
What?
Can you tell us how many guns Carrie's got?
What?
How many guns did you see?
What difference does it make?
Makes a lot of difference to us.
I don't know. He's got a pistol.
Yeah, we saw that. Anything else?
Well, yeah, he's got a rifle, too, a shotgun, I think.
Did you see it?
He brought it into the house.
Where is it?
What do you mean?
What part of the house is it in, do you know?
The front room, I guess. That's where it was the last time I saw it.
Has he got any shells for it?
Yeah, a lot of them. Had his pockets full.
All right, that's all. Thank you.
You going to get him now?
We're going to try.
You'll have to shoot him.
Ma'am?
He told me so himself. Said you wouldn't take him alive.
Uh-huh.
Told me if you tried, he'd take a couple of you with him.
Well, it isn't going to change things.
Hmm?
He's still going. Miss Bush was taken to one of the neighborhood houses, and we got ready to take the suspect into custody. The house was completely surrounded. All of the doors and windows were covered. Each man was instructed to shoot to kill in the event Carrie tried to escape or made any effort to fire into the crowd. In a last attempt to get him out of the house without additional bloodshed, the bullhorn was brought from the car, and we tried to talk to him.
Here you are, Joe.
All right.
Tell him this is the last time around, Joe. We're through playing games.
All right. Carrie? Carrie, give it up. Throw those guns out and you follow them. All right, we'll tell you where you stand. There are a lot of us out here. We've all got orders to kill you if you try anything. You think you can sit in there and we can't touch you? You got it wrong. We'll blow the roof off if we have to.
Tell him he's got 10 seconds, Joe.
All right.
Count them out for him.
All right.
Stand by with gas guns.
Yes.
Go ahead, Joe.
Terry, you're running out of time. We'll give you 10 seconds to come out of there. It's the last time. Throw the guns out and come out after them. 10 seconds, Terry. That's all you got. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's all you got. Time's up. All right, throw them in. Cover that front porch.
Here's the machine gun, Joe.
I got it.
Must have good lungs.
Yeah.
Toss some more in.
Got to come out pretty quick.
Yeah.
There he is.
Got that shotgun. Keep down.
Yeah.
Easy now.
Terry. Terry.
Not moving.
Cover me.
Yeah.
How about it? It's all right. Must have been dead when he hit the floor.
Yeah. We were lucky.
No.
What?
We had to kill him.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On Monday, May 9th, an inquest was held in the coroner's office in and for the county of Los Angeles, state of California. The coroner's jury found that the death of Thomas Herbert Carey was caused by gunshot wounds resulting from an attempt to resist arrest. The officers were absolved from blame.
Dragnet. The story of your police force in action is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Chesterfield brings you Dragnet.
Put a smile in your smoking.
By Chesterfield. So smooth. So satisfying. Chesterfield.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to burglary detail. An elderly woman reports that a man has stolen $300 from her apartment. She says she saw him. Your job? Check it out.
Put a smile in your smoking.
Next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember this. In the whole wide world, no cigarette satisfies like Chesterfield.
Put a smile in your smoking.
Instantly, you'll smile your approval of Chesterfield's smoothness.
So smooth, so satisfying.
You want them mild. We make them mild. Mild and mellow. With the smooth and refreshing taste of the right combination of the world's best tobaccos. So next time you buy cigarettes,
stop. Start smoking with a smile with Chesterfield. Smiling all the while with Chesterfield. Put a smile in your smoking, just give them a try. Light up a Chesterfield, they satisfy.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Thursday, May 19th. It was sunny in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of burglary detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Bernard. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 3:47 p.m. when we got to a small apartment house on the corner of Olympic and 6th. It's Topeka Arms.
What's that lady's name again, Joe?
Dunbetter, Martha Dunbetter.
Let's see. Yeah, here's her mailbox, number 8.
Must be upstairs.
Well, how do you figure that?
Only 8 mail slots means 8 apartments.
Yeah?
Stands to reason number 8 will be on the 2nd floor, don't it?
Oh, well, I suppose so. Hey, Joe, wonder who comes from Kansas.
What?
Well, didn't you notice the plaque out in front? Topeka Arms.
Yeah.
That's a city in Kansas. Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah, sure.
Well, somebody must have come from there, the owner or the builder. Why else would they give the place a name like that?
I don't know.
Well, stands to reason, doesn't it?
I guess so.
Well, you see, you're not the only one who can do it.
Do what?
Deduce.
Oh.
That's what they call it, the way you figured out number 8's the 2nd floor. Deduction.
Yeah.
I was just giving you an example. When I proved that somebody connected with the building probably lived in Kansas, didn't you? Right down there. 8, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Deduction never fails, Joe.
Who's there?
Police officers.
Oh, well, just a second. I'm coming. My goodness, you certainly got back. Oh, well, dear me, you aren't the same ones, are you?
No, ma'am. This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Well, there were 2 other policemen here just a little while ago. It's a shame you didn't know. Could have saved yourself a trip.
That's all right, ma'am. We knew they'd be here.
They're patrol car officers. They were in the neighborhood, so they answered your call.
Oh, well,
All right if we come in?
Oh, my, yes. Oh, yes, please do.
You're Mrs. Martha Dunbetter, is that right?
No, not exactly.
Oh?
It's Miss Dunbetter. I'm still single.
I see.
Well, ma'am, would you mind telling us just what happened this afternoon?
Oh, no, I don't mind at all. It's, quite clear.
All right, would you go ahead?
What was that, young man?
Would you go ahead about this afternoon?
Oh, well, now, let's see. I fixed myself some lunch, and then I rid up the dishes. It must have been about 1 o'clock by the time I finished.
All right.
Afterwards, I put on my hat, and I went down to the library. It's only a couple of blocks from here, the Grover Cleveland branch.
Mm-hmm.
I took back my books and checked out 2 fresh ones.
All right. What happened next?
Well, I come home, and there he was.
What's that?
I come home, and there he was.
Who?
Well, that awful man.
Well, just where was he?
Here, in my apartment.
No, I mean which room?
Over there, the bedroom.
I see.
As soon as I come in, I heard him. At least I heard somebody moving around. First, I thought it was Mrs. Parker's manager. I know she sneaks into my apartment and noses around. Of course, she says she doesn't, but I know better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I said to myself, I got her red-handed this time. So I marched him to the bedroom all ready to give her a piece of my mind.
Well,
I was never so flabbergasted in my whole life. He was standing in front of the dresser, going through my pocketbook.
I see.
My black bag and leather. It's the one he was holding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ma'am, how much money was in the bag?
Well, I'm not positive. Not to the penny. About $300.
In cash?
Yes, sir. You see, I've been saving dimes for the past 15 years.
You mean this $300 was in dimes?
Oh, goodness gracious, no. Oh. What I do is go through my change every night and put all the dimes in my dime bank. Then when it's full, I take it down to a real bank and change the coins into bills. A dime bank holds $25.
I see.
Oh, you'd be surprised how much a person can save that way. It mounts up.
Yes, ma'am. Do you know the denominations of the bills?
I guess they was mostly tens. Maybe one or two bigger ones.
Mm-hmm. Now, what did this man do next, Miss Dunbetter?
Well, he found money. My $300. Stuffed it into his pockets. Then he just strolled out of the apartment big as life. I was too dumbfounded to do anything about it.
I see.
I heard him tramp down the stairs, and then I heard the front door slam. When I was sure he was out of the building, I managed to get my wits together and I dialed Central.
Central?
The operator. And she put me in touch with the police station.
Had you ever seen this man before, Miss Dunbetter?
No. I'm sure I never did.
Could you tell us what he looked like?
Well, he's a tall man.
How tall?
Big as you, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. What color hair, please?
Dark. Very dark.
Eyes?
Dark eyes, too. Dark complected. Like he'd spent a lot of time outdoors.
How was he dressed?
A shirt and pants and a jacket. Light-colored jacket. I think it was green.
Did you notice any scars?
Yes. Come to think of it, I did. Across his forehead. Thin little zigzag.
Mm-hmm. Well, how old would you say he was?
Oh, he's young. 35, maybe 40.
You know if anybody else saw him? The other tenants?
Well, I haven't talked to him, no. Haven't left the apartment since it happened.
You live alone here, do you?
Oh, my, no. My sister Bessie stays with me.
Well, where's she this afternoon?
Well, she went out of town for a few days to visit her grandson and his family. They come down from Oxnard to get her this morning.
I see.
Tomorrow's her birthday. She'll be 80. I expect they're going to have quite a celebration.
Yes, ma'am.
They're all carrying on. You'd think it was such an accomplishment.
Well, it is a pretty ripe old age, ma'am.
I don't see what's so ripe about it. After all, I'm near to 79 myself. Oh, I know I don't look it. Everybody thinks there's at least 10 years between us. And Bessie is failing.
Yes, ma'am. Just a couple more questions, Miss Dunleavy.
Certainly, young man, certainly.
What time was it when you got home from the library?
2:45. Maybe a few minutes after. No later than 3, though.
I see. How'd this fellow get into the apartment? Was the door locked?
Well, I thought it was. I always try to remember to lock it whenever I go out, but sometimes I do forget. Well, I guess I did today.
You think you'd recognize the burglar if you saw him again?
I most assuredly would.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing the matter with my eyesight.
Oh, that's fine. We'd like to take you down to the office with us and show you some pictures.
No?
Just to see if you can identify him.
Well, I couldn't go like this. I'll have to change my dress first. Well, I'm all right for walking around in the neighborhood, but not for going downtown.
Well, that's up to you, ma'am.
I'll say Miss Dunbetter while I think of it. Who came from Kansas?
Oh, I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, the name of this apartment, you see, is the Topeka Arms, so I figured somebody connected with it must have come from Kansas.
Oh.
You don't know who it was, do you?
Well, now, let me think. Oh, yes, I remember. That was old Mr. Hendrickson's idea.
Wow, you don't say.
Yes, he was the man who built this building. Well, now, that was, oh, goodness sakes, that was almost 35 years ago. My, how time flies.
Yes, ma'am. How you like that, Joe? This Mr. Hendrickson came from Kansas.
No. Minnesota. Minneapolis, as I recollect.
Oh?
But it was his idea just the same, calling it Topeka Arms, on kind of an article he read in the newspaper while the building was going up.
Ma'am?
Said there was more people in Southern California who come from Kansas than any other state.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Henderson figured the name Topeka would attract a lot of tenants. It's ridiculous nonsense. Said so at the time. There hasn't been a single solitary one.
Oh.
35 years. Not a soul from Kansas has ever lived here.
4:05 p.m. Frank and I put in a call to the crime lab. While Miss Dunbetter changed her dress, we checked the other apartments to see if anybody else had seen the burglar. Only one tenant was in. Mrs. J.T. Blade, apartment 6, informed us that she'd been out marketing at the time of the crime and had just returned home. 4:16 p.m. Lee Jones and a crew from the crime lab arrived. They began their investigation, and we drove Miss Dunbetter down to the city hall. We checked the oddity file and ran the suspect's description and M.O. through the stats office, and they came up with 17 possibles. We pulled mug shots and showed them to Miss Dunbetter. She was unable to make an identification. 6:13 p.m. Lee Jones reported no useful fingerprints or other physical evidence in the apartment. 6:46 p.m. We drove Miss Dunbetter home and we went off duty. The next day, May 20th, 11:17 a.m. I'll get it. Burglary Friday. Who's that? Oh, sure. Yeah. When'd he come in? I see. Oh? Well, I wouldn't know. What's he look like? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'd like to. Right. Thanks a lot. That was Chubb Starks.
Who?
You know, Stark, the bartender over at the Yellow Cat.
Oh, yeah. What's he want?
The guy came into his place last night. He was carrying a pretty big roll. He threw it around, bought drinks for the house.
Yeah.
Got kind of loaded and did some talking about how easy he'd picked up the dough. Just walked in again this morning.
Huh. Sound like anything to you?
And Chubb says he's about 6 foot, black hair.
Yeah.
Scar on his forehead.
Put a smile in your smoking. Next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember this. It's today's biggest cigarette news.
Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray.
The Accuray controller is the greatest improvement in cigarette making in years. And it's a Chesterfield exclusive. This amazing quality detective electronically checks and controls the making of your Chesterfield, giving a uniformity in smoking quality never possible before. So buy Chesterfield today. For the first time, you get a perfect smoke column from end to end.
A perfect smoke column from end to end.
From the first puff to the last puff, your Chesterfield smokes smoother. From the first puff to the last puff, your Chesterfield smokes cooler.
From the first puff to the last puff, Chesterfield is best for you.
Next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember,
Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray.
Put a smile in your smoking, just give them a try. Light up a Chesterfield, they satisfy.
Frank and I drove out to the Yellow Cat Bar on Figueroa. Chubb Stark, the bartender, pointed out a husky man sitting in a corner booth. We went over to talk to him.
Keep your hands on the table and stand up.
Huh?
Police officers, on your feet.
Okay.
All right, you can sit down again.
Something eating you guys?
What's your name?
Why?
Come on, what is it?
Portlong, Ralph Portlong.
Where do you live?
Hotel around the corner?
How long you been staying there?
Since last night.
How about before that?
Back east, they just got in town yesterday.
Whereabouts back east?
What kind of a roust is this?
Where back east?
All over. Chicago, Cleveland, all over.
What kind of business you in?
Unemployed.
You got any money?
Some.
How much?
Look, I ain't no vag if that's what you're getting.
How much money you got?
$100, maybe 150.
Where'd you get it?
I borrowed it.
Who from?
Pal.
In L.A.?
Chicago.
What's his name?
Johnson, Cliff Johnson.
You got his address?
I don't know. He moves around same as I do.
How you going to pay him back if you don't know where he lives?
We'll bump into each other.
What'd you say you got in town, Portland?
I told you yesterday.
What time?
6 o'clock, somewhere in there.
Yesterday morning?
Last night.
You sure of that?
Yeah.
How'd you come? Train?
Car.
You own the car?
I hitched a ride.
Just where were you yesterday afternoon?
Riding into L.A.
All afternoon.
Yep.
What was the driver's name?
Look, how should I? And I've been hitching for the last week. I must row with 20 different guys.
You don't remember the one you were with yesterday?
Nope.
Ever been arrested, Portland?
Nothing serious.
Well, tell us about it.
Oh, drunk, that's all.
And where was that?
Ohio when I was a kid.
Anything else?
Yeah, I got some speeding tickets.
You ever been arrested in California?
Never been in California.
First trip, huh?
Yep. You ain't exactly making me feel at home either.
You know an apartment house called the Topeka Arms?
Whereabouts?
6th and Olympic.
Where's that?
In L.A.
Look, can't you get nothing straight? I ain't never been here before.
Mm-hmm.
How about give me an answer? Why the roust?
All right, come on, let's go.
What for?
We'll show you the sights.
For instance?
City Hall. Frank and I took the suspect into custody for further questioning. 12:16 p.m. We ran the name Ralph Portlong through R&I. They had nothing on him. We put out an APB with his description stating that he was in our custody. The bulletin requested any information about the suspect and was marked attention Chicago PD and Cleveland Police Department. 2:18 p.m. We again interviewed Portlong. He insisted he had not arrived in Los Angeles until 6 o'clock the previous evening and refused to say anything more. 4:06 p.m. We received replies to our APB on Portlong. Chicago reported 2 convictions for grand theft auto, and Cleveland reported 1 conviction for burglary second degree. We telephoned Miss Dunbetter and arranged for her to attend a special show-up at the main jail. 6:17 p.m. The show-up was completed, and Frank and I took the victim back to our office.
Well, ma'am, you're sure it isn't the same man?
My goodness gracious, I ought to know.
Yes.
Let's see how you could have made such a mistake.
Well, he fits your description even to the scar.
But I told you it was ziggity-zag.
Yeah, you did.
This man's scar is entirely different.
Yes, ma'am.
His hair is wrong, too.
Is that right?
Other man had some gray in it right across here.
I thought you said he was fairly young.
But he doesn't have to be old to get gray. I've been gray ever since I had my appendix out. I was only 34.
All right. What have you taken home now?
It's really a shame.
Ma'am?
You arrested that poor fellow. And he hasn't done anything.
Burglary Friday. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. When did you get it? No, not yet. Were you notified? Right. Well, I guess we don't need to feel too sorry for Portlong.
What do you mean?
Another answer on our APB.
Yeah?
You were right, Miss Dunbetter. He couldn't have been your burglar.
Well, I told you, didn't I?
He was in Needles yesterday afternoon. He hitched a ride.
Yeah?
Slugged the driver. Ralph Portlong was held pending arrival of authorities from Needles. The investigation of the apartment house burglary continued. 2 more suspects were brought in for questioning. Both men succeeded in establishing alibis for the time of the crime. Monday, May 23rd, 1:48 p.m. Frank and I were on our way back to the office from lunch.
How was your pie?
All right.
Just okay, huh?
I said it was all right.
Lemon meringue, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, Joe. You should have had apple.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, stick with apple. You can't go wrong.
The lemon was good.
You didn't finish it.
I was full.
Yeah. Well, someday you'll learn.
Learn what?
Apple pie is always safe. You can't louse it up. Even a bad cook can.
Well, I get a little tired of it once in a while, that's all.
Well, no reason you should. You can switch it around so many different ways.
Yeah, I know.
Cheese, olive mode, hot sauce. No reason to get tired of apple, Joe.
Sure.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Call for you while you were out.
Oh?
Hey, she wants you to call back. Here's the number.
Thanks.
Sure.
Bessie Maxon.
Who's that?
I don't know. Mrs. Maxon? There's the police department, Sergeant Friday. Yes, that's right. We were the ones. I guess we can. Well, is something wrong? You sure of that? All right away. Thank you for calling. Goodbye. Miss Dunbetter's sister, she just got back from Oxnard.
Yeah?
She says it never happened.
What do you mean?
The burglary. Says her sister made it up. Frank and I drove out to the Topeka Arms, and we went up to apartment number 8. It was 2:17 when we got there.
Somebody's coming again.
Oh.
Well, what is it?
Ms. Maxon?
That's right, that's right.
Well, my name's Friday. I just spoke to you over the telephone.
No, yes, of course.
This is Frank Smith.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do, ma'am?
Come right along inside.
Thank you.
I just don't know what to say. I suppose it's all my fault for going out of town. Should never have left Martha alone. Might have known she'd be up to something.
Are you positively sure about this, Miss Maxon?
About what?
That there wasn't any burglary?
Oh, Never in a million years.
Well, your sister gave us all the details.
Play acting, that's all it was, play acting. She's done it all her life.
Oh, I see.
You mean Miss Dunbetter isn't...
My sister is as sane as you are, if that's what you're driving at.
Well, then why'd she tell us that story, do you know?
Haven't got the vaguest notion. She simply won't give me any explanation.
Oh, I see.
If the story was true, why won't she face me? Why is she hiding?
Hiding?
The minute I told her I was going to call you, she locked herself in the bathroom.
Is that right?
Been in there for 2 hours now. She simply refuses to come out.
Well, we'd like to talk to her if we can.
Yeah, I'll try again. Back that you're here may have some influence.
You think we're getting a runaround, Joe?
Sounds that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Martha? Martha, you come out of there this instant. Martha Dunbetter, do you hear me? The policeman wants to talk to you. Now come out. The police are here.
I won't never come out.
I never heard of such childishness. You see, I'm not able to do a thing with her.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe if you speak to her, she'll come to her senses.
All right.
Oh, sister carrying on like this. I don't know how I'll ever be able to hold my head up again. It's scandalous.
Miss Dunbetter, this is Sergeant Friday. Miss Dunbetter, will you come out so we can talk to you? Miss Dunbetter?
Well, it's about time. Whatever were you thinking of, Martha? What got into you?
I'm speaking to you, Bessie.
Let's go into the other room. It'll be easier to talk there.
Yes, sir.
Not speaking to me, huh? Well, two can play at that game. And I assure you, I won't be the one who suffers.
All right, ladies, would you like to sit down? Now, Miss Dunbetter, can we clear this thing up now? Your sister says there wasn't any burglary.
Just how would she know she wasn't here, was she?
I know because I know you. Yeah. And I know you never had $300 to your name.
I did, too.
Where'd you get it? Where'd you get it?
None of your business.
All right, now, how about it, Miss Dunbetter? Did you have $300? Well?
Never said it was exactly 300. Not to the penny.
$3 would be more like it.
There happens to be a few things you don't know about, including my savings.
A likely story. You never saved a penny in your life.
What about my dime?
I shook it the other day.
I'll thank you to keep your hands off my property.
Savings, indeed. If I didn't pay most of the expenses around here, you'd starve to death.
I managed quite well before you moved in on me, Bessie, and I was perfectly happy living alone. Matter of fact, I preferred that arrangement.
Well, maybe you'd like to try it again.
Maybe I would. I'm sure there'd be money ahead.
Ha!
Don't you hawk me, Bessie Maxim. You ought to see the way she eats. Gobble, gobble, gobble. She shovels it down.
Stuff and nonsense. I don't have any more appetite than a bird.
Bird, don't nip the cooking, Sherry.
Martha Dunbetter. How can you say such a thing?
Because I know it's true. I'm off the bottle.
Well, whatever I do, I don't fib to the police like some people I could name.
Well, Miss Dunbetter?
I made exaggerated respect.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to do no harm?
I wonder if you know it's against the law to file a false police report.
Against the law?
There. You see? You're going to jail. I knew it would happen. I knew that sooner or later you'd disgrace all of us.
Why'd you do it? You must have had a reason, ma'am.
I won't tell you. Not in front of her, I won't.
Oh. Well, now, let's see. Would you mind waiting in the other room for a couple of minutes, Miss Maxon?
I most certainly would.
We'd appreciate it if you would.
No, very well. Very well. You think I was the criminal around here?
All right, Miss Dunbetter, tell us now, will you?
It's very difficult to explain.
Well, give it a try, will you?
See, it was all on account of her, Bessie.
Go ahead.
Started when we was little girls. It's because she's older. She's always lording it over me. Mom and Daddy always gave her everything first. Hand-me-downs, that's all I got. Bessie's hand-me-downs.
Oh, I see.
And when we grew up, I couldn't push myself very much. She's just the opposite. There at the ball. She had a pick of all the young gentlemen in town. The only time they'd take me out was when Bessie was busy. I don't think she didn't let me know that I was second choice. The only reason she married a Horace because he took a fancy to me. Well, I had my pride, too. Wouldn't settle for her leftovers. That's why I stayed single.
I see.
The least she could have done was name one of her little girls after me. After all, I'm her only sister.
Well, Miss Dunbetter, you still haven't told us why you reported the burglary.
I'm telling you.
Yes, ma'am.
On account of her birthday. Well, that was the last straw. She hasn't talked about anything else for months and months. It's 'cause she's 80 years old, you'd think she was the Queen of Romania. A picture in the paper, people making a fuss about her. Well, I made up my mind that for once in my life someone was going to make a fuss about me.
I see.
To tell you the truth, I'm not a bit sorry I did it. I mean, yes, I should be sorry, but I'm not. I really enjoyed myself. And all those questions you asked me, like I was somebody. My name was in the papers, too. First time it ever happened. Kind of strange when you come to think about it, to live 79 years without ever seeing your name in print. Oh, but that wasn't the best part.
Ma'am?
The best part was Bessie not being able to horn in and take all the credit. Oh, I knew you'd find me out sooner or later, but I didn't care. I sure had to laugh on her. All the time she's in Oxnard being partied, I was having little parties of my own.
Yeah. Well, you know you didn't need to put us through all this, Miss Dunbetter. You're almost 80 yourself.
It's over a year away. When you're my age, you can't be sure of anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Besides, even when I'm 80, Bessie will still be ahead.
How's that?
She'll be going on 90.
The story you've just heard is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
On May 26th, the hearing was held in the office of Perry Thomas, city attorney. In a moment, the results of that hearing.
Now, here's our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you, George Fenneman. Put a smile in your smoking. Buy Chesterfield. It's the best cigarette ever made for my money. Smooth, satisfying, mild, and mellow. Believe me, in the whole wide world, no cigarette satisfies like Chesterfield.
Due to the advanced age of Miss Martha Dunbetter, and because of her assurances that she would never repeat her actions, no charges were filed against her.
Better schools build better communities. Join and work with your fellow citizens who are actively seeking to improve educational conditions.
You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Frazier. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Virginia Gregg, Jack Crucian, Helen Cleve. Script by Frank Burt. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
This is it, L&M Filters. It stands out from all the rest. Miracle tip, much more flavor.
L&M's got everything.
It's the best.
Yes, L&M's got everything. The miracle tip is white, pure white, to give you the purest and best filter. And you get a rich, good-tasting, fully satisfying smoke from L&M's highest quality tobaccos. Buy L&M, America's best filter tip cigarette. It's sweeping the country.
One man stands between death and 10 people on TV's new dramatic program, Mr. Citizen. See Edward Binns star in the true story, Terror on Jackrabbit Hill. Check your local TV listings for Mr. Citizen. Hear Dragnet next week, same time, same station.
Lux Radio Theater presents Barry Sullivan in Rope of Sand tonight on the NBC Radio Network.